Nerdrotic.com.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you are beautiful. Oh, I don't deserve that applause at all, even though it is fake. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from Nerdrotic.com. And we are here at our new time. And, our regular time. This is going to be Monday and Wednesday, whether I do a Inquisition or not. Yes, I've got my Streamlabs set up too. I should probably put that link in. This is the first time I've tried it, so it's a bit experimental at this point, but it should be ready to go like fully by Friday Night Tights. For those of you who do not want to donate to Google, I understand that. And I want to address something right away. But first, we're going to talk. Why did I just forget how to talk for a second there? Concentrate. So, what we're going to talk about today is Tom Holland has come out and denied that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to be in Spider-Man 3. Is he just being a little liar because he is probably the worst actor out there for keeping spoilers? But he absolutely denies they're going to be in the movie. And he did it in Esquire, I think it was a day or two ago. We're also going to discuss the myth of toxic fandom. I'll reset my views on that. The BBC is in trouble. It seems like every month we get a BBC is in trouble article, and it's not rumors. This is from Deadline, and they have to cut a lot of content, $500 million or 408 pounds worth, 408 million pounds of content. I have a suggestion. We'll get into that later, and that might possibly happen. We also need to discuss Joe Martin, what did I label her? The first black female doctor, who we will lovingly call, we can't call her Dr. Karen because she wasn't a Dr. Karen, but Joe Martin was back in the news because somebody was speculating that she was going to be the next doctor. I'm going to tell you exactly why they cast her in the role last season. I think most of you know it. And it has everything to do with the possible next doctor, if we're going to get one at all. And we'll discuss some WandaVision and that She-Hulk monstrosity, which is just the latest. I mean, we got a Hall of Fame going now. This goes all the way back long before Snowflake and Safe Space. We have another entry into the SJW Marvel Hall of Fame, and it's She-Hulk. And, She-Hulk has looked like that for a while, but at least she had boobs, but they took away her boobs this time. And, yeah, it's in Marvel Comics, and honestly, I didn't even want to make a video about it because I couldn't give two shits about Marvel. But Marvel still remains the proving ground for the MCU, which could turn into the MCU. And that all could be happening while WandaVision remains pretty damn good. And we'll discuss that. But first, let's get something out of the way, because this gets asked once in a while. And I think it certainly is a good question, even if it does come from disingenuous sources. So somebody tweeted at me a couple times yesterday, me and Ryan, about self-censoring on YouTube, self-censoring words. And The question was, let me get to the exact. Well, the question was basically, why do you complain about censorship and then censor yourself? Well, they're censoring ideas and they're censoring words. And I find that the best way to remain entertaining, not to everybody, but to some of you out there, and relevant on a platform is to actually be on the platform. You see, if I'm not on the platform, then I won't be entertaining to some, not all, relevant, and my message, whatever that message is, won't get across to anybody except for maybe my dog or my little plastic pals in my room here. There is a, there's, and they followed up the question by basically saying, well, you're just, if you're doing that, you're dancing for $1. Well, I hate to break this to you. We all dance for dollars. We all have to follow rules, whether it's our boss's rules or a platform's rules, and especially with YouTube rules, which are pretty ambiguous. It's best not to take chances so the overall message gets across. And that's why, you know what? Sometimes we have to dial things back. Sometimes we have to take the L here on YouTube to remain here because while overall my channel's in very good standing, I rarely get demonetized. I can't even tell you the last time we got demonetized, I'll knock on wood, on Friday Night Tights, and that's with Az doing, he has 1/6 scale action figures, and he's showing you how to do the reverse Eiffel Tower or the Eiffel Tower. I can't remember if it was reverse or the Eiffel Tower. That didn't get demonetized. All the stuff we've done has not gotten demonetized. So YouTube does let stuff go. But my main concern and what, and he wasn't, this person wasn't just calling me out, he was calling others, but I'll speak for myself. It's the censoring of ideas that's dangerous. That's the bottom of the slippery slope. That's the thing we saw with certain political channels. Now, YouTube has taken out recently they've taken out a lot of right-wing channels and some left-wing channels, and it's probably just so they can look fair. And this isn't a partisan or political issue. This is a free speech, free expression issue. But I am not a free speech absolutist. There's certain words I won't allow in my chat, period. There's certain words I won't say, although I could say them whenever I want. And it's not really about being demonetized or not. It's about remaining in the algorithm to get recommended so as many people as possible see my videos. Because yes, I make videos and live streams for as many people as possible, while staying pretty true to myself. There are words, again, in public I won't say, I won't allow my kids to say. I certainly, again, could whenever I want, but I don't because I'm an adult. I have self-restraint. And there's a little thing at the end of the 12th step of Alcoholics Anonymous. I practice these principles in all of my affairs. That's why I try very hard, as much as I get pissed off at people because I'm a very fallible human being. I try not to attack people personally. But that is why we don't, and I have individual reasons. For instance, the coof. I could say COVID. I could. At first, YouTube was demonetizing people for saying that, and then they reversed it. But by the time they did, I was saying coof all the time, and I just think I just got in a habit. When it comes to Yahtzees, I specifically, and so coof I got from Jeremy from the Quartering. Yahtzees I got from Clownfish TV, and I think it's funny. And it also depowers that word, and it doesn't help perpetuate a false narrative. So that's why I say that. But yeah, I censor myself. I try not to drop F-bombs, or I'll bleep that out for monetization and for clicks. Absolutely. But I'm still going to try to get my ideas across as possible because, like I've said before, we need to infiltrate, just like the SJWs did to Marvel, just like they have done to Hollywood right now. They have silenced, or, there's a lot of people who don't think in Hollywood and at Marvel and at Disney and at Lucasfilm like the Pablo Hidalgos of the world, but they're afraid to speak up. And what we need to do is make them not afraid. And there's ways to speak up where you're still within the guidelines. You don't have to be brash or edgy or shocking. You just need to get your point across. That's it. So we need to infiltrate this platform with common sense. That's why I'm probably one of the few YouTubers that says, come on, try it. Get on YouTube for a hobby. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and you don't have to talk about serious issues. You can just talk about whatever, you can make a Star Trek channel, whatever you want. And the more we have of that, the better it will be. So we're not so divided all the time. That was the one thing that I didn't like about Parler. I loved Parler for its free expression and everything, but it started out just very political. So the reason I went there is I'm going to try to be, I'm free to be political if I want to, but I talk about pop culture most of the time. So if there was more pop culture stuff at Parler, it would have made it a little less partisan, right? So that's why I chose to go to Minds. I'm not interacting that much over there. I got to get used to it just in the habit. And maybe eventually finally get away from Twitter. But Twitter is good for getting the videos out there and the live streams. I'm getting more and more interaction from Twitter every day, according to my analytics. And it's helpful. But is it great? No, I hate Jack Dorsey. I can't stand him. Can't stand the man. And I can't stand what YouTube and Google have been doing lately. But it doesn't mean I'm going to run. That's exactly what they want us to do. They want us to run. They want us to go somewhere else. No, I prefer to remain a pain in the ass. And, it goes by what my pop told me a long time ago. And I'm paraphrasing what he said. And I've told my kids, you got to play the game before you can change the rules. You can't come in and think you run the place. That's entitlement. And it even goes for us. So to stay here, we need to be here. Pretty simple answer. And I've said that multiple times. So the person tweeting at me obviously didn't watch my videos or live streams. I talked about that as 3 weeks ago on a nooner. All right, let's get to the fun stuff because we're going to talk about pop culture. A little escapism. Let's start out with seeing who's here first. Let's do this. We've got Corey B. Garrett Thatcher, HBG3, Alex Moore, Joel Rice, Propaganda LTD, Douglas Arthur, Zelina SW, Father Christopher Miller. Bless you, sir. Bless you. Thank you for being here. I feel my sins being washed away as we speak. There's so many of them. Rubik's 41, Craig Smithy, Moot Point, Joel Reese, Quinn the Q. We got to go for Jeremy Swigs and Eric K and his wrench. Thank you for being here. Lucy Mao, Ivan Ivanovich, XenoWorks, Psych S, Jimmy Fing Cricket, or Jiminy Fing Cricket. I got it. Lord Thoth and his wrench. Welcome to Tone and Latino Slant. What's up, Polly? Helping out those dogs. Such a good guy. Yeah, there's a lot of charitable stuff going on. We've got Drunk 3PO has a charity live stream tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Go to his Twitter. He's got all the information there. There's going to be some Geeks and Gamers people. Unfortunately, I have a prior commitment, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it or not. Because later at 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be on Bounding Into Comics channel. We'll be discussing some stuff with my good friend, John F. Trent, who is a good guy. New papa. Probably talking about WandaVision and the MCU. Oh, wow. I need to get a little more centered, don't I? There we go. That's better. Okay. Doctor Who. Doctor Who's in all kinds of trouble. So the rumors have been flying. We have the first female doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen, is leaving, although that has not been confirmed by the BBC. But man, is everybody acting like this is a done deal, to the point where John Barrowman was even speculating who the next doctor was going to be. And when I saw that, I was like, because I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm going to wait. I'm honestly going to, I didn't make a video and I want to wait until I hear it from her. I do believe, I did not start this speculation, but I will agree with it, that it was Jodie's people who put that out there to kind of save her ass. And she could walk away from this with most people, probably with what's left of her career intact. I don't think she's that talented, to be honest with you. So I think she's, be a guest star in a sitcom, will star in maybe another Black Mirror or some other anthology or maybe some soap. That's, and that's good. Hey, that's a good career, and, bless her, go on. As well, at least the Doctor Who fans know. The Star Wars fans and Star Trek fans don't. I know a lot of you are empathetic. Doctor Who is the franchise that has been damaged the most out of the three big ones, or the three top science fiction / fantasy franchises. Doctor Who has been damaged the most. The Timeless Children, which it's almost been a year, folks. It's almost been a year. Is the Last Jedi of Doctor Who, although, you can call The Last Jedi the Timeless Children of Star Wars. That's how bad it really is. And the biggest difference is you can still be a Star Wars fan and just pretend the Disney trilogy doesn't exist and your Luke Skywalker is intact, but within canon and not by a new company. So I want you to imagine if George Lucas went back in time and changed what the Force even is, and you find out that Obi-Wan and Yoda, who are a couple, found a child on the street and took the Force from that child and then turned Luke into a girl. That's essentially what they did to Doctor Who. They changed everything about the Time Lords, about the Doctor's relationship to Gallifrey. They changed the Doctor's gender. And, and also, if you want to, you can't really equate the numbering system to Star Wars other than they broke the Force, and, like Jedi and Sith don't really matter anymore. Like anybody can be a Jedi. Like anybody can be a Jedi now. And with the Doctor, and again, if you're not familiar with the show, there was a numbering system. So we had Doctors 1 through 12. I don't count Jodie. And we had the War Doctor. And they threw that numbering system out the window, so they're not even putting it on their products anymore. So when we refer to Capaldi, we can't say the 12th Doctor anymore. He's the Peter Capaldi Doctor. He is the, it's the William Hartnell Doctor, or the David Tennant Doctor, which is awful. And it's something that the BBC cared so little about. They did this on a whim. This was their plan from the beginning. Instead of rebooting Doctor Who, which that was on the table, folks. That's what I heard anyway, that just rebooting it, but they didn't want to do that. And that was like early stages. Chibnall was vehemently against that. He really did want his female doctor. They wanted their female doctor to count. And this isn't the first time, by the way, they had considered rebooting Doctor Who. They've considered that before, according to my friend. But Chibnall was insistent on having a female doctor. I think the BBC was completely in agreement with him. They had no problem. And he pitched that we had to change the entire show for her to make it work. Because I guess even deep down, he knew it wouldn't work. And they didn't care. They were willing to break a show for their political agenda, for identity politics. A 50-plus year show was sacrificed on a whim in a second. This didn't take much debate. They were willing to do it, and they thought it would work. They really, really thought it would work. And after the first episode, they thought, we did it. We did it. So they hung their hat on the amazing ratings on the first episode, which everybody knew they were going to get. The curiosity factor was high. It basically was the biggest Doctor Who news since the 50th anniversary. The show did need a shot in the arm, but not like this. And it was never, ever, ever going to work, because emotional blackmail is not a way to market your show. And that's what they did off the bat. And we've discussed quite a bit that if you really wanted to make the female doctor work, the first thing you had to do was just make it another doctor and not shit on previous doctors. And if you were really into it, you get the top talent. By all accounts, I don't know this for sure, Chibnall wasn't their first choice. It was the person who took the job. And apparently a lot of people didn't want the job. And now we understand why. Working with the BBC is a nightmare. And it's always a nightmare of funding. There's always the office politics, not just politics, but the inner office corporate politics of the BBC. That's a pain in the ass. Creatively, it must be just a crappy place to work. So there's that. And yeah, Chibnall was willing to take the job. And because he was willing to take the job, he got carte blanche. And the rest is history. So why wasn't it ever going to work? Well, it's pretty simple. The Doctor's been a man for 50 plus years. You can't just change a character and say it's okay and not do anything, not address the differences between men and women. There would be the regeneration alone would have to take multiple episodes of the Doctor getting used to it, not just falling out of the sky going, oh, wow, I got tits now. Let's go. No. There's differences, but they didn't want to address those differences. This is where the intersectionalism comes in. The whole point was to have a female doctor that's not really that feminine. It's basically practically a non-binary doctor, a gender fluid. Well, not gender fluid. We'll say non-binary doctor. And they still write her like a bloke. She complains a couple of times about being a woman, but that's about it. And says she had an upgrade, but it was never, ever going to work. But they didn't care. They didn't care. They were going to forge ahead anyway. And if the show was going to break, then it's going to break. Now, HBO Max comes in with their licensing deal. The reason they got Doctor Who here in the States is because they were the highest bidder, because Amazon Prime didn't want it anymore. And Amazon Prime got it because Netflix didn't want it anymore. So the two top streamers, which had Doctor Who, and I will state again, the reason Doctor Who got immensely, immensely popular a few years ago here in America was not just the 50th anniversary. It was the combination of David Tennant, Matt Smith, and all the modern episodes were on Netflix. And this is when Netflix was pretty much the only streamer, and they had all the shows in one place, and everybody was able to burn through it. It was also a matter of timing. Fandoms do shift around, okay? So you'll have, for instance, you'll have fandoms who are into fantasy, right? So Lord of the Rings had a pretty big fandom, but Lord of the Rings, as great as it was, greatest trilogy ever made, greatest films ever made, kind of came and went like that because the movies were out every year. If they had taken a 2-year break in between films, it would have been an absolute phenomenon. But it still was huge, still won, but it was gone. It was gone like that. So that a portion of that audience gravitated over to Harry Potter. Harry Potter pretty much owned the decade. Harry Potter ended in 2007 for the books, 2011 for the films. A portion of that fandom moved over to Doctor Who here in the States. And that's when Doctor Who started blowing up. And it could still be popular now. But unfortunately, the BBC, in its arrogance, thought they would start to turn their entertainment, their corporation that is meant to entertain, into a platform. And this stuff started creeping in even as far back as 2012. The SJW-ism. I saw it creeping into comics, and it was certainly creeping into the BBC. And if you look back, you see other films that are a template. Mad Max Fury Road is a great template for intersectionalism. And I remember people trying to raise the red flag back then. And I was even in denial about it. I'm like, yeah, nah, what are you talking about? It wasn't until a couple of years later when I watched a YouTube video about Mad Max Fury Road, a movie that I liked quite a bit, where you see the symbolism. Now, does it take away from the quality of the movie? No, George Miller still directed a fucking amazing movie. But you can see where the seeds were planted for other things. Now, nobody's against there being more people in, I'm not going to use their fucking terms, but more people, inclusivity, whatever, in genre, in original stories. All for it. Willing to see it. Have no problem. The one thing that the fandom has always had a problem with, and I particularly have had a problem with, is fucking with our characters. Fucking with the things that we loved for a long, long time that made that thing popular. And now we're at such a ridiculous point. We have Queen Latifah in The Equalizer. Which, I mean, this is a video for another day. It could have worked if she was some kind of mastermind, but not an action hero. The verisimilitude of Hollywood is dying, if not dead, because of intersectionalism. So with Doctor Who, the reason why, again, it was never going to succeed is because you can't just change a character into a woman and think it's going to work, especially without putting in a lot of work, and it still wouldn't have worked. Now, when it comes to Joe Martin was cast in Doctor Who Series 12 so they can say we've already cast a black female doctor. Because the next doctor, if there's going to be one, it's going to be a bloke. And the reason they did the casting they did, again, was to say, oh, we already cast a black female doctor. So they won't need to do it again. It was strategic casting, strategic writing, so they could find a way to try to succeed and appease the very small number of blue check marks and peers who they work with, who would basically burn them at the stake career-wise if they brought in another dude. Now, don't expect, we are not going to see a white dude as the doctor, and that's fine. I've never needed that. Don't care about that. But whoever the next doctor is doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Chibnall leaves. It doesn't matter. Jodie leaving doesn't matter. Because the one thing they're not going to do is erase the last 2 years of canon. They're not going to retcon it. They're not going to fix it. It will always exist. Always, unless they reboot it. And for me personally, it would take a lot of convincing to tell me that the BBC would erase making the doctor a little black female. Maybe in a decade, I'd be open to that. If the world, if common sense ever returns to the world. And maybe those, the elites at the BBC see the error of their ways and see how when you are taking an established label and slapping it on somebody else, you're actually being sexist. If you want to create a new character from scratch and give them the exact same budget and resources you would a Doctor Who show, then I'll believe you're down with the cause. And remember that, because we're going to talk about that when it comes to Kevin Feige and She-Hulk as well. So the BBC needs to, let's get that article. There it is. I just love reading stuff like this. It just makes my day. I know that makes me a terrible person, but I don't really care. There we go. BBC must make 556 million. That's 408 million pounds, but that's $500 million here in America of content cuts as it grapples with perfect storm of financial failures. Well, think about the BBC. Excuse me. A few short years ago, you had Top Gear and Doctor Who at their peaks. And Jeremy Clarkson, I guess, slapped a caterer. And you decided to get woke with Doctor Who. And now you have to cut $500 million. I'm sorry to the caterer who got slapped. There's no reason you should be slapping a caterer for any reason whatsoever. That's horse shit. But you know what? Jeremy Clarkson is Jeremy Clarkson. I don't know if it really happened either. I think you suspend him for a little while, right? Make them go to some therapy or something like that. But, when you have it was the biggest show in the world at the time, and maybe the sandwich was really bad. I don't know. No, it's still not cool. But they fired him immediately. And that's, I don't watch every BBC show. The last co-production I saw that wasn't Doctor Who, I watched Class, which was incredibly woke and terrible. And I watched Taboo, which was a co-production with FX, which was brilliant and kind of the last of the really good BBC. I probably should watch more, but after watching what happened to my beloved Doctor Who, I haven't really been interested. And I used to watch your news all the time too. The BBC News was infinitely better than the garbage we got here, even 10 years ago. And it used to be pretty unbiased as far as I was concerned compared to what we had here. And that changed as well. And now I can't watch any of it at all. I watch Tim Pool, and I try to watch as much raw video as I can where you can find it. Takes a lot of work, but you can find it. But now the BBC is here. The BBC has revealed that it will need to cut spending on its content and services by £408,556 million over the next year as it grapples with falling income, hyperinflation, and fierce competition for audience. In a 39-page report titled BBC Value for Audiences, the British broadcaster said it was on course to deliver 951 million of the overall 1 billion savings target it has set itself for March 2022. But the BBC warned that the programming spend will increasingly feel the strain after it has exhausted back office, non-content related savings initiatives. In short, painful content cuts could be coming. Get woke, go broke. Get woke, go broke. Of course, Doctor Who isn't solely responsible. It's actually just a little piece of what's happened to the BBC. Of course, there's the Diversity and Inclusion Initiative. There is paying some of your talk show hosts too much money, more than they deserve, because they're not that great. And there's a bunch of failures, and there's partnerships. They were forced into partnerships, and this is going to be a problem for a lot of streamers because the BBC dragged its feet in the streaming wars. It's going to get crushed, and so are a lot of networks here in the States. We just haven't seen it yet because they took so long. Let's keep in mind, streaming's been around for a long time. Back when I worked at Technicolor, Technicolor wanted to come out with a set-top box because that was supposed to be, and those things exist, the set-top boxes. They were preparing for it back then in 2010, 2011. When I started my channel, a good friend of mine, John Reed, was a co-host for a little while. While he was co-hosting this channel, when it was a podcast back in 2015, he was working on the Disney streaming service. That's when they started working on it a long time ago. Takes a while to build these things up. In the meantime, Netflix and Amazon had theirs rolling, and they have patents on a lot of stuff too. So that's why certain, you would think, that's why certain menus suck, because Amazon and Netflix own the patents to them. The BBC said that the 408 million of pounds of so-called scope cuts it needs to make over the coming 12 months represents a 66% increase on the 246 million of scope savings it made in 2016 and 2017. The BBC did not set out how it intends to achieve the goal, but previous scope cuts have included closing BBC 3 as a linear television channel and ending original daytime programming on BBC 2. The BBC said, additionally, savings through productivity gains are becoming increasingly difficult, and scope savings are now the predominant form of savings for the BBC. One of the biggest things they're missing that they don't mention here, but I will, is licensing of product. tchotchkes, TV shirts, stickers, mugs, action figures, toys, Legos of Doctor Who, which used to make them a lot of money. Especially you guys in the UK bought a lot of Doctor Who stuff. Just to, again, to give you guys an idea, let's see. One of the Christmas specials for Doctor Who, I believe, got 13 million overnight viewers. 13 million in a country of 66 million people. So that's up like 1/6 of the country was watching the show. That's insane. It's absolutely insane. We don't have a show like that here. And it's part of your culture. So the crime, the vandalization, which is done to this show, like I've said before, cannot be undersold. So it does play into why they are having a lot of trouble now, because it was a cash cow for them. You know what? If they would have canceled the show, they'd probably be better off. They'd be better off because you can license the classic Doctor Who or the neo-classic Doctor Who, and people would continue watching it because they'd be more interested. And I would argue a lot more people would be interested if you hadn't have gone down this road. It's starting to damage the old stuff. That's why occasionally an older cast member will pop off and then be forced to apologize and whatever. But what I have heard is there's a lot of old cast members, especially from the classic series, who are not happy with what's going on. Certainly, some of the cast members of the neo-classic show are going to toe the party line because they're still young and they need work. In order for the BBC to deliver its public service commitments, support the creative industries, and continue to invest in high-quality, world-class, distinctive content, well, it's distinctive for UK audiences, it will have to do more with less income to spend on programs and services. The BBC admission follows UK public spending watchdog, the National Audit Office, warning last month that the corporation has delayed making what it considered to be the most challenging aspect of its savings in recent years, including slashing jobs and cutting content. Wonder how BBC America plays into this. Elsewhere in the BBC Value for Audience report, that sounds so British. When it comes to Doctor Who, there's no value. The BBC set out how its income has fallen 30% over the past decade as, among other things, its license fee has been frozen by the government. Oh, it's the people's fault. You need to pay more. Well, guess what? They're raising the price and they're going to start charging over 75s again, which is despicable. Absolutely. During the COOF. The broadcaster said it has experienced hyperinflation in the cost of drama, and it is having to co-produce more with the U.S. media giants that are also eating away at its audience. Examples of recent co-productions include His Dark Materials, which is made with HBO. Remember, Torchwood was a co-production as well. Taboo was a co-production. The BBC also said it has reduced its spend on on-screen talent by 31%. Well, I'm sure you saved a lot of money on Doctor Who. To £145 million since 2010. Furthermore, it has halved its ranks of senior managers to 253, while the senior management pay bill has fallen from $73.3 million to $44.2 million. I'm sure you can... 253 managers? 253 managers. Yeah. So they also raised the prices. I guess they're bumping up the license fee. A bunch of you emailed me on that one. I think it's a few more bucks, but it's ridiculous. You don't need your license fee. It's nice to have live television. Personally, I cut the cord here a long time ago, and I don't miss commercial TV at all. Don't watch any of it. As a matter of fact, the only commercials I'll see is YouTube, those soap ads on YouTube or whatever, and that's when I'm off my account because I don't have ads on my account. So they brought in Joe Martin So they could already say they have a black female doctor. If we get another doctor, it's going to be a dude, probably a DOC, a dude of color, which is fine. And it won't matter that whoever that actor is, I feel bad for them because they're going to be saddled with garbage. If Chibnall does stay, that's bad. If he goes, I mean, things, you know what? I'll say there's a 2% chance things could get better. But the one thing I can tell you is HBO has absolutely no say in the production of Doctor Who. Zero say. They simply license it. They are not a co-production like his Dark Materials is, which means HBO has a say in this. Now, if Doctor Who were a co-production, then it would air on HBO, not just HBO Max. It would air on HBO and not BBC America. What was Torchwood on? Showtime? I can't remember what Cinemax. I can't remember what Torchwood was on. The one American company that would probably take Doctor Who if BBC ever decided to sell it, which it'll never do, is Warner Brothers. They seem to have had a past relationship with them before. I don't know if it's been lucrative. I guess people like his Dark Materials. I honestly never been the biggest fan of that. Just not. Let's go to you guys. Oh, wait, I have this new system now where I don't have to use YouTube. And I can see everything in order without it being skipped. It's kind of tiny, but that's okay. How long have I been babbling? Sorry for the silence there, folks. Sassy Marie for $5. Thoughts on Warner Brothers CDC propaganda video entitled Heroes Wear Masks. I saw that prior to Batwoman. There hasn't been a lot of news, right? So I'm like, I need to make a video for Mama Susan. I didn't make a Batwoman episode 3 review, so been kind of dabbling on that. And they did have a Heroes Wear Mask thing right before the episode, and it was cringe. You know what's funny, Sassy Marie, is if you remember the theme of Watchmen, aside from white people are evil, is masks. And I'm surprised they didn't do something with that. But what do I think about it? It's cringe, but it's more of the proof that these independent companies, these giant corporations are not that independent of the state. The lines are getting blurred now. Now, by all means, wear a mask if you want to wear a mask. That's fine. I wear one when I go into businesses, and that's pretty much it. I have to wear one at the gym because it's the rules, so I wear it. It sucks. Sucks wearing a mask at the gym, especially when you have glasses. And I'm sitting there watching something, and my glasses are all fogged up. Brandon Stackhouse, welcome to the Gandalf level. Hail. I appreciate that. Oh, I forgot to put my link in the chat again. Damn it. Jester of Roanoke for $2. Have a super chat for starting on time. Groovy. Yes, that's the whole point. This show is, I got to build. This is a new time because usually the nooner's later in the afternoon. But this works out better for me for making videos and my kids in school. And I can end it right when school's out for my kid. And then I can actually see him for a little while. It's nice. SJ Almighty, thank you for the £3. The donation doesn't have anything to say, but I thank you, SJ Almighty. The Opposition HQ for $5. Everyone, I don't want TV license BBC. So you want to pay more? Hashtag defund the BBC. Defund the BBC. And it looks like you guys have been doing it. So well done. Well done. You beautiful British blokes and ladies out there. Blokes and birds. Latino Slant for $4.99. Gary, much love, brother. We made a killing for the rescue nonprofit yesterday. Thank you for the retweet. Hashtag adopt, don't shop. Of course, he's talking about dogs. Yes, I do the same. And I'm glad you made a killing for the dogs. The dogs. Well done, Paulie. Well done. Nicholas Horton for £5. Hail, Gary. No Tobey or Andrew for MCU Spider-Man 3. Yes, we're going to discuss that in a moment. In a moment. According to Tom Holland. And if you really look back, nobody's said anything official. Now, supposedly there were some set shots. I don't know if they're real or not. You don't know. We are going to discuss rumors. I have a question. How come there haven't been any, and I mean any, Boba Fett rumors? It's a show. It's in production right now. Haven't heard anything. Not a word. I hear rumors about everything else except for the show that's in production. And I will say the Luke surprise at the end, there is one guy that I know of who knew it was coming, and that was Drunk 3PO. Nicholas Horton for £5. She-Hulk is meant to be hot and in a bikini-style outfit, unlike this monstrosity. Oh, yeah. We can show you that real quick. Let's discuss that, shall we? Oh, She-Hulk. I'm sure most of you have seen this on Twitter, but some of you don't go on Twitter, so this might come as a surprise to you. That's She-Hulk. That's not Hulk. That's She-Hulk. I stopped reading Marvel and DC comics for good a few months ago when Tom King tried to cancel Jay Lee. I just had my fill with Marvel and DC creatives who, while they're making money drawing funny books, they want to wake up in the morning and ruin people's lives because they have a vacuous hole in their soul. The kind of person who has to wake up in the morning and do that is disgusting. You need help. And it just means you're living a life without meaning, an empty life. And what a waste. What a waste it is, because, you know, as far as I know, you're only around on this trip once. Welcome to the Daily Stupid, a brand new column here at Bounding into Comics, where we will bring you some of the dumbest of what happened in the past week. And this is one of the dumbest things. That is She-Hulk on Easter Island. Now, they've been bulking up She-Hulk lately. Ed McGuinness did it in the Avengers book that came out a couple of years ago, but at least she had boobs. It's ugly, pointless, and a far cry from John Byrne's classic sensational She-Hulk, where She-Hulk showed off her curves and her muscles and wasn't a green lump. And she was also funny, charming, broke the fourth wall before Deadpool. It's one of John Byrne's best runs. It has great art. And yeah, She-Hulk loved being She-Hulk. Classic cover, very 80s, extremely 80s. Now, again, you can just put this up with Snowflake and Safe Space and I Bought You the Ocean and I'm Not Starfire and that god-awful Children of the Atom cover. And let's throw in the Let's Get High Republic, any picture, anything Captain Marvel between 2017 and 2019. That one soy Peter Parker face, that one's pretty good too. It just goes on and on. It's not bad art, but Batgirl being Antifa, it's just one thing after another. And I just don't give a shit. I was trying to sit there for a couple of hours. I was trying to work out, like, do I want to make a video on this? And I fucking don't. They obviously do this now to troll. That is the only thing they have in mind. This doesn't sell books. Nobody cares about it. There might be a couple of less informed people who might think this is actually empowering. If you need this to feel empowered or validated, you never will be. You never, ever will be. Only you have the power to do that. Only I have the power to do that about myself. I can make myself empowered. I don't need other things or people to empower me or validate me. But that is the mindset behind some of these creatives. The other one is, this is going to piss off all the Yahtzees. Can't wait till I piss off the ists and the Nazis. Is that your entire motivation now? To piss off YouTubers who have moved on. They don't even give a fuck anymore. And this is why I don't purchase new Marvel and DC comics, because when I do, they make more of this. I am supporting it. And I can't support this. Not anymore. Lifelong passion, habit, 4+ decades. I sold them for a decade, and I don't buy comics anymore because of shit like this. So the question I have is, Kevin Feige, is this what She-Hulk's going to look like in the She-Hulk series? My first reaction would be, hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not, because they actually want people to watch their show. But I'm not sure. You want to know why? Because Feige has to sign off on this. He runs Marvel Comics. I mean, not day to day. I doubt he even fucking knows what's going on. But when they make big changes, it has to run by him. This is a pretty big change, I would think. So, do you in the chat think that the She-Hulk by Dana Schwartz, the feminist, do you think it's going to look like this? So when Eric July or yours truly or Ryan Cannell or anybody else, we're discussing WandaVision on Friday Night Tights, and we are skeptical, although I'll preface saying I like the show, and we're going to talk about it in a little bit. There's a lot to like, but there are huge warning signs and red flags that this is the future. This is the future. So when you hear that skepticism, this is why. There are thousands of comics that they could adapt that would include, that would be inclusive, would have plenty of women, that probably could push messages you want kids and everyone to learn while entertaining, without having to dial the identity politics up to 11, the intersectionalism, that needs to go away completely because it doesn't fit with storytelling at all. But it looks like Marvel's going that direction when they don't need to. They have a success with WandaVision, and yes, these two things are related, directly related, because the comic books are the proving ground for the MCU, which will turn into the MCU. I give you the Miss Marvel series. Miss Marvel is a character that isn't popular, but they will tell you she's popular so much. And why do I say that? Well, go back and look at Kevin Feige's reel from the Disney Investor Day. And you had 3 separate people within that reel start off their statements by saying the very popular Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is not popular. Her books have never sold. They have been canceled. The highest number I think Miss Marvel might have hit was 25,000 in the United States. And out of that 25,000, I guarantee you only half the people purchased the books, and I doubt half read them. A lot of people collect to be completists. I was one of them. So say you're a Captain Marvel fan, Marvel. You're going to want to get every book ever attached to that character. So you can say one day, I have a complete set. Meaning, I'll buy a Miss Marvel comic. I don't ever intend on reading it, but it's part of my collection because it's part of the Marvel family. The comic industry has relied on people like that forever. And I would argue that there's a lot more than 25,000 completionists out there in the country. And that could probably account for a lot of the sales with Miss Marvel. Now, as far as the graphic novel, it was ordered by a lot of librarians, which inflated a lot of sales. It was also Part, I'm sure it was sold in schools, which inflated sales. Nobody actually read the fucking book. It's not a popular character. Nobody gives a shit. But she's getting a TV show. I could think of about 100 characters I'd rather see get a TV show than Miss Marvel. And not even the real Miss Marvel. The fake Kamala Khan, Sana Amanat, Miss Marvel. Victoria Alonso, in an interview for the X-Men movie, talked about, well, I think the X-Men is a bit outdated. And I don't think they're going to call the X-Men. And I wouldn't be surprised if they start dropping men from titles pretty damn soon. It'll be the Spider. And that's how ridiculous things have gotten in comics. Now, I think they're going to ease us into it because Kevin Feige's not stupid. He saw the reaction Captain Marvel. Now, Hollywood generally is a bottom line town. So for most in Hollywood, they're going to look at Captain Marvel made $1 billion. It's a success. And it was. It was. Absolutely. Undeniably a success. Were there reasons for this success? Yes, it was sandwiched in between two of the most popular sequels of all time. They fed you a bunch of bullshit that you had to watch it to watch Endgame. Turned out you didn't need to, and that character didn't even need to be there. Doesn't matter. It was still popular. So she is going to get a sequel. Brie Larson isn't going anywhere. There might be some thought that the Monica Rambeau's Captain Marvel will take over. No, they'll call her Photon. Or so, she's got 5 names. They're just going to use a different name. Maybe way down the line, possibly. Plans are in place. They've been in place for a long time. And none of these plans have changed yet. What we've gotten over the last year, because there's been a glut in entertainment news, is a fuckload of rumors. But then we got this yesterday, and I don't know whether to believe it or not. Here we go. I hate going to this site. Fuck IGN. Spider-Man 3, Tom Holland denies that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield appear. Tom Holland has denied that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will be returning for Spider-Man 3. During an interview with Esquire, Holland, who has played Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe since 2016's Captain America Civil War, strongly dismissed rumors that both Maguire and Garfield would be reprising their respective Spidey roles for the untitled Spider-Man Far From Home sequel, which officially entered production towards the end of last year. No, they will not be appearing in the film. He firmly told the publication when asked about the possibility of the two actors returning, unless they have hidden the most massive piece of information for me, which I think is too big of a secret for them to keep from me. But as of yet, no, it'll be a continuation of the Spider-Man movies that we have been making. No secret, not a fan of them. Not a fan. I think Tom Holland is fine. I think he was fine in Civil War and Infinity War, but in his own movies, he's Spider-Boy, not Spider-Man. Spider-Man was only young for a very short period of time in the comics. And while he did weep once in a while, like, when he was very upset when Gwen Stacy died and when Uncle Ben died, he didn't whine and cry as much as this one does. And, he's also, I think he's got a little bit of the Andrew Garfield that he's a little bit too cool. While Tobey Maguire is still the best Spider-Man, and I think they failed for the most part with some of his they really failed with the humor in my opinion, the humor aspect, the banter that Spider-Man does when he fights, because it's part of his fighting style. But overall, Tobey is the GOAT. And Raimi's Spider-Man is the GOAT for me, and Spider-Man 2, as flawed as those movies are, I love them to death. and Tobey looks like Peter Parker. Just missing completely ugly by this much. Despite Holland's flat-out denial of their involvement. Okay, sorry. As per our earlier video report above, speculation has been rife over the possibility of past Spider Flick stars making a comeback for Spider-Man 3, with Maguire and Garfield being two of the names cast up in the tangle of web rumors. A previous report stated that Garfield will be back and that Maguire would be joining him if Sony and Marvel managed to close the deal. Despite Holland's flat-out denial of their involvement, Disney has a history of misdirecting fans and leading them to believe that certain things will or will not happen in movies, often saying the big reveal for the moment that audiences are sat in front of the big screen. On several occasions, red herrings have appeared in Disney's marketing. So there is a chance that Holland could be sworn to secrecy. So he's lying. Now, they're going to have to start doing that this is something that sports has done for a long, long time. General managers lie all the fucking time. But you don't want your star lying. The star could simply say, I don't want to answer that question, or I can't answer that question. And leave it to Kevin Feige to lie, or the director, Sam Raimi, to lie. Now, I think it's dumb if they don't bring in Maguire and Garfield, especially after the rumor went on for so long. I think people will just be disappointed. I think it's a great idea. Fuck it. This is the year of fan service. Disney, Warner Brothers, they can't fuck around. There are no theaters. There is no theaters. I know when I say no theaters, I'm primarily talking about New York and California, where the most theaters are. There will not be open theaters here at full capacity for this year. They'll probably open maybe even in a couple, 3 months at 25% capacity. Then another 2 or 3 months, it'll be 50% capacity. And I cannot see it moving above that until next year. Some stuff is opening up slowly here. We have a ridiculous tiered system. By the way, just have to update it. Sorry, folks. But, and again, this isn't partisan issue. This is just my governor here. Very close to getting him recalled. Very close. And it's because everybody's pissed at him, because our system here has been mad. It's been ridiculous. It's been insane. 60% of our business is gone in this state. 60%, including my wife's. Maguire played Peter Parker in Spider-Man in 2002 Spider-Man 2. Yeah, I know when they fucking played it. Spider-Man 3's casting lineup, confirmed or otherwise, has been teasing a live-action Spider-Verse multiverse crossover of epic proportions, which could be intertwined with latter events in the MCU, particularly Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. For more on the Doctor Strange sequel and its multiverse concept, read our theories. No, thank you. No, thank you. Now, this comes from an Esquire article. This isn't from IGN. I just didn't want to. The Esquire article had like really suggestive pictures of Tom Holland, which I don't want to look at. And God, he looks like such a baby. So, I mean, kid. I mean, a kid, not like a baby. I don't know. I hope he's lying. I do. I was looking forward to Tobey coming back. Although, I'll be honest with you, I don't want it to be just a cameo. I think that would be cheap. I would rather see a Spider-Man 4 directed by Sam Raimi. It could still be done. There's no reason you can't do it. You can just say it's a completely separate universe and we're just finishing a story and let Sam Raimi go out on top. I think that would just make all the money you would possibly want to make. And what stops most of these things, folks, is egos. The only new factor in Hollywood of late is ideology trumping profits. But it still comes down to egos. It really does. So I don't know if maybe Tom Holland's not down with this. Who knows? Maybe these were all bullshit rumors. I have no idea. I heard there was set pictures. But there's been a lot of assumptions because there's been a glut in entertainment. And, rumors drive audiences. They do. And I don't judge anybody for that. By all means, talk about all the rumors you want. But we did see at the end of WandaVision, we saw Quicksilver from the X-Men universe, and that was fucking great. I thought it was great. I knew it was coming, and I still thought it was great. And I got excited. And let's talk about WandaVision for just a moment, shall we? WandaVision is doing, listen, I know not everybody likes it, but it's doing what Marvel TV shows should have been doing with ABC, is they're bridging gaps and they're getting people interested in not only older content like Age of Ultron, Age of Ultron always pops up after WandaVision. I bet a lot of people are watching, and I'm actually interested in watching it now too. And I've been cracking over, what Avengers books I have here. I've been cracking open my old Avengers books. And that's exactly what they're fucking supposed to be doing. When you're not preaching at us, that's the kind of shit, that's escapism. And you did well, Disney. The problem is, and I got to give credit to Az for pointing this out on Friday Night Tights, it's a tale of two shows. And I know obviously there's the sitcom going on, but no. We're talking about within WandaVision, there's a tale of two shows. So when Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany are on the screen together, the chemistry is fucking amazing. They're brilliant. And you really, it makes you think, man, they fucking dropped the ball with the movies by not giving us more of Wanda and Vision, who are two major Avengers. Most people my age, if you say, what do you think about the Avengers? Generally, the first few characters that are going to pop in your mind are Scarlet Witch and Vision. Because that's the book they were mainly in. That, yeah, they had some miniseries here and there, but you watch Scarlet Witch and Vision's story through the Avengers. And they've absolutely succeeded in that. The problem is, it's when they get out of the TV show. And that's the meat, right? That's where we find out what's going on. And I still think it's entertaining, but that's where we're getting all the identity politics and the woke shit and the fucking mentions of Captain Marvel. Now it is, and Kat Denning being absolutely like the quintessential SJW character, which is too bad. She's hot. But, I'm sorry, I forgot the actress's name who plays Monica Rambeau. She's good. She's good. She's not annoying like Brie Larson. She looks comfortable in her role. People like her. And if we could dial back on the men bad lines or men stupid or every male character being an idiot or under control of in Wanda's control. And honestly, Paul Bettany is the only respectable male character. Now, yes, you need a villain. And of course, the Head of Sword being a villain is fine. And I think I know who it actually is. I don't want to spoil too much. I think it's pretty clear. They've made it pretty clear who's behind everything. It's going to be Mephisto. I hope they don't waste him just on a TV show, because you can't put Mephisto in a movie, apparently, over in China. So maybe they'll put all the supernatural stuff on Disney Plus. I don't know. And then there's some speculation that there's still a big cameo. Now, a lot of people are assuming that it wasn't the Quicksilver cameo at the end of this one and that we're going to get another one. But that's still an assumption. Elizabeth Olsen mentioned it. She could have been talking about Quicksilver. But certainly we could get Magneto. We can get Papa. And that would be a way of introducing the mutants. And this is all great. This is all great until we see what the X-Men are going to look like, until we see what the Fantastic Four are going to look like. And you kind of wonder why they have been dragging their feet on the Fantastic Four. And I think I know why. We're not going to be getting Kirby's Fantastic Four. You know, the Eternals, the Critical Drinker just tweeted about this. The Eternals was supposed to start in a couple of days. Now it's been delayed till November. We haven't seen a frame of this film, not a trailer, nothing. And maybe we'll get it after WandaVision or not. I don't know. But that one looks like a trash fire. Black Widow doesn't excite me, but WandaVision's been pretty good. And it feels pretty MCU. I heard that this might be the Vision's last hurrah. That would be terrible. After watching Elizabeth Olsen's chemistry with Paul Bettany, we better get more of this. We have to get more of this. Because this is the best they've ever been, to be honest with you. So we get the cameo of Quicksilver at the end of WandaVision, but then we hear that we're not going to get Tobey and Andrew Garfield and Spider-Man. So yeah, I want to see what you guys think about this, because that's kind of a big deal that Tom Holland would come out and say that. And for him to just out and out lie like that, I guess he could. I don't know if you want your star lying like that, though. Again, I think it should be other people. Oh, boy, I don't want to hear myself. That's a rookie move. What are you doing, Gary? Oh, shit. I forgot to share this out. Oh, well. Oh, well. Hang on. Folks, give me just a mo. That's what happens when you start on time. You forget to share stuff. Boop, 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 boop. So I will just do it quickly. All right. There's that. And I share it over on Facebook. Boom. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed hearing about it. So I hope it's a lie. Because I do think Hollywood, every company is going to need to do something like this. I mean, to go back once again to Luke Skywalker's return at the end of The Mandalorian, that's the kind of fan service every intellectual property is going to have to do with established characters. So we got Elizabeth Olsen saying that there's a Luke Skywalker level cameo coming. Okay, is it Iron Man? Is it Magneto? Is it Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? It can't be Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, by the way. Because I just saw a video of him on Twitter, and he looks very skinny. Looks very, very skinny. So it doesn't look like he's in Wolverine shape. And part of the reason he didn't want to do the role anymore was all the working out and stuff. Chris Evans, who knows? But people are interested. People are genuinely dialed in, and there isn't a big battle over this show yet. For the most part, people are happy. Now, the people who have read comic books out there are just going, we're all waiting for the shoe to drop, and hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm dead wrong about the MCU coming, and Natalie Portman holding the hammer will end up being nothing, and she'll barely be in Thor: Love and Thunder as She-Thor. And maybe She-Hulk will be just like John Byrne's comic, but I highly doubt it. You got to look at who they're hiring. And based on who they're hiring, Dana Schwartz, feminist, I still think she loves Az, though. I was shipping those two hard. Kind of wish it would have worked out between those two. Kinnell's teeny weeny tiny hard. You guys are brutal to my internet son. Kinnell's teeny weenies tiny hard hat. She-Hulk equals Trailblazer plus Green Goblin love child. Yeah, it's pretty awful. It's pretty awful, but that's intersectionalism. And there are people who are trying to push the narrative that actually empowers people. And I will state again, if you need empowerment and validation from a comic book character, you're never going to get it. You're never going to get it. Never, ever going to get it. Captain Spire for $5. Comic stores hold the plethora of memories and dreams and heroes that display the heart and work of creators. Woke versions of these are just a cash grab, and not even a Cecil level cash grab, because like Cecil's honest about his deceit, and that's what we love about Cecil. But as far as what Marvel and all of entertainment have been doing for years now, is slowly letting it creep in, and at first telling us we were crazy for noticing it, and then coming out in the open and doing it and saying it was there all along. Yeah, right. I'm thinking about doing a video. This probably will just be for me. I don't know if you guys will give a shit about it, but recently I read The Last Wish, which is the first book in the Witcher series technically, and there is a short story in there called The Lesser Evil, and it's what the first episode is based on. And it's a great example of the creators for the TV show omitting source material to favor intersectionalism. I mean, the creative choices they made to make the first episode of The Witcher, which really weakens The Witcher, has The Witcher being led around by a little girl, and you got Renfrey. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but yeah, they could have just adapted the short story and still had an entertaining show with plenty of women and an empowered female, but instead they decided to make changes for intersectionalism. And I'd have to point it out, but for those of you who've read the book, then you're probably, see, I'm catching up later because when I watched the show, I didn't notice it. But then I read the source material and went, oh, fuck. Okay, now I understand what people are talking about. Shogun Gaming for 14 Danish krona. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donation, and thank you for the phallic unicorn. Shogun Gaming. CJ for $9.99. Hail, Gary, did you read Charisma Carpenter's tweets about Joss Whedon? No surprises, but she accused him of all those rumors when Angel was on the air and she got pregnant. Yes, I remember when Charisma Carpenter was fired from Angel for being pregnant. Yeah, Joss Whedon was an asshole. Creative genius, complete asshole. Yeah, but Charisma Carpenter was trying to warn people back then. The Iron Omega for $5. Running puts us into social ghettos. Don't do it. That is what they want. You're right. You're absolutely right. They want us to leave. They want to drive us away. That doesn't mean you don't go to alt tech. By all means, spread your message on alt tech. But let's see if I can pull up exactly what that guy said. And listen, I know who sent this tweet, or I can probably figure it out based on, it's a Twitter account that's about 2 weeks old, and based on who they retweet, it's not hard to figure out. It is not hard to figure out. Oh, I think I deleted it. Yeah, I deleted it. All right. But yeah, it's the whole dancing for money thing. Yeah, we all do it. We all have to do it. I have bills to pay. But I love doing this, and it just became my job. And that was thanks to you guys. I had very little say in it because I had been doing it for years prior. And I'll tell you that usually comes from other YouTubers. I'll just say other YouTubers. And I don't punch down, so I won't mention names. But there's a lot of YouTubers out there. They do this with Jeremy more than me. Not too many people make videos about me or call me out about much, but they go after my boy Jeremy quite a bit. And people love to count his money. And I can tell you there is nothing more pathetic than counting another man or woman's money. Envy is not anything that will, it's not something that will get you very far in life, but you can turn that into inspiration. You certainly can. It's very easy to do. The Real Vector for $5. Gary, in reference to She-Hulk and so much more, I have said it for a decade now. Ugliness is a virtue to the new left. To whatever. It's okay. It's new left for some. Certainly, Real Vector, you're absolutely right. But there is a lot of people from the rational left that can't stand this stuff. Then I've got plenty in the chat right now. But you're right. To the intersectionalist, ugly is a virtue. Being a victim is a virtue. Because when we're all victims and we're all the same, then we're much easier to control.
individuality will become, I mean, it's considered narcissist now, individuality. I remember my generation complaining about being labeled, being stereotyped, and now some of them live for that shit. It's disappointing as hell. Trina, the knitter Guthridge for $5. Taboos are a healthy thing, and people bucking them are also healthy. Freedom of speech is so important. The only defense from bad ideas is a good idea. Yes. And even Barack Obama has said the best way to deal with free speech is more speech. Now, I don't know if he meant it when he said it, but he did say it. And I totally agree with that. The best way to deal with free speech is more speech. Always more speech. Man of War 665, the neighbor of the beast, for $6.65 for some new dancing outfits. Maybe an Ahura fan? Oh, yes. I love Ahura. And that is in reference to last Monday. We talked about Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, an absolute ridiculous and fun movie. I love it. And Doomcock had a great theory that it's a campfire dream, it's a campfire whiskey bean dream of Kirk, and it makes it a much better movie. It does. Chevy 1189 $24.99. I finally get to see a live stream. Off topic, just finished Witcher 3. It's absolutely amazing. I know you are just starting the game. Continue. You will not be disappointed. Keep fighting the good fight. Yeah, it's fun. And I'm only dabbling right now. I'm barely starting to dabble. But I really love the books. I burned through it's actually kind of gotten away of my content. I started reading the books and I burned through them pretty quick. And yeah, I love the lore in that. It's really good. It's really good. And the show fucks a lot up. It really does. And I still like Henry's scenes are great. There's some really great stuff in the show, but there's tons of problems. And I think season 2 is going to be worse. I do. Maybe I'll have to do a Witcher is Doomed video. I know the Lord of the Rings fans really loved it when I did that. Lord of the Rings Doomed. Ginger Hermit is a member at the proto-molecule level. Welcome, Ginger. Welcome. I appreciate it. Bilbonius, bag of donuts for $2. Acceptance is the answer to all of my problems today. It really is. Bag of donuts. I got to remember to look. Hang on. Yeah, I set up this whole StreamYard thing. I'm not even using it. There we go. That's better. I can see everything now. Somewhat. That's better. Or not. Sorry about that, folks. I'm just trying to get this. There we go. Okay. Corey B. and Grand Wazoo. Thank you for the $1.99 and $1.49, respectively. One is a phallic unicorn, and the other, God dang it, I need another monitor. I thought 2 was enough. I'm going to need 3. Is a cup that says tired. Yeah, I'm tired of it's pretty incredible that people a year later are still pissed about Doctor Who. And we had one little moment of fan service at the end of what was probably the most popular show of the year and the most popular moment. And it should change everything. It should. I don't think it will with every property. Star Trek seems to be just set on its ways to, flying into oblivion. By the way, have been working on the Picard review. It's going to be it'll be out, I think I have a couple of videos to do before it, but it should be out sooner than later, before Picard season 2. But yeah, with Doctor Who, we're approaching a year, and it just hasn't gotten better. And I think they're just going to go down thinking, well, at least we were editorially right. The next Doctor will be a black Muslim lesbian trans woman, single mother in a wheelchair, says JT for $5. If they weren't forced into having to make some money now, I think that would definitely be a possibility. But now what they're weighing right now is it worth it to go forward with this? Because it's one of their most expensive shows. If they cancel Doctor Who, they could greenlight like 5 shows. I'll say 4 shows with the budget of Doctor Who. They could budget some dramas. And right now, Doctor Who used to be worth the money. Is it now? That's why I said in passing in a live stream, and it got written about at a couple places, that the axe is on the table. That's what I've heard. I'm not saying it's happening, but it's something that's possibly being considered. And then we get this article, it came out on the 3rd. I just noticed it yesterday, that they have to cut $500 million from the BBC. That's not like $100 million. That's $500 million. Drunk 3PO showing support, my good friend. Well, thank you, Drunk 3PO. You didn't have to do that. There he is. Shout out to Drunk 3PO for $4.99. Thanks, brother. Polaris sucks for 2 Canadian pesos. Vegas 2021-22. You thinking? Yeah. Whether there's a Star Trek convention or not, I think by the end of the year. Well, no. If we're going to do Vegas, we're going to have to do it in summer. Here's my prediction. That things will start opening up in a couple of months. And while they won't be fully open, it'll be probably a bit like last summer, a little looser. So I think if we do a meetup in Vegas in late summer, yeah, it's going to be hotter than hell, but who cares? I think that would be the best time to actually book a place where I can have people meet and we can book rooms. And it'll probably still be pretty cheap. I'll be driving through there in a couple of in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks to go look at houses. The Jaded Warlock for $2. Talk about a lethal injection into a franchise. Ooh, yeah. It's so weird that we have this great moment of WandaVision, and then the She-Hulk thing drops, and they didn't expect anybody to know us because they don't expect anybody to read their comics. A hit comic nowadays is, if your comic sells 30,000, it's considered a hit. Now, it's because of a thing we like to call rationalization, something the comic shop owners have gotten pretty damn good at. The ones who still sell new comics and who still back Diamond and still back the Marvel and DC narrative. They're very good at rationalizing why their industry is falling apart. And part of that rationalization is not taking any fucking responsibility at all. And realizing that, man, we have pissed off more than half of our audience. It turns out all those people we were calling ists and Yahtzees weren't. And they really didn't like being called it. And when they buy comic books, they want quality art for $4 fucking. Right now, why would you buy a comic book? Like, even when the art's good. Okay, if I can grab it. There it is. This piece of trash. Like, this is good. This art is good. This is good art, okay? But, I mean, seriously, they had to have a black female with a mohawk again. Again. This is like the 13th time they have a character like this. It's so generic. Like, this art isn't bad. It's not bad. But they've got reduced page counts now. Yeah, I mean, like, hey, that's decent Captain Marvel art right there. That's really good. But I hate this character now. I can't stand this character. I used to love Carol Danvers. I own all of Reed's Miss Marvel books. I bought Miss Marvel off the shelf. I liked Carol Danvers. I liked Marvel. So when you occasionally get like decent art, but then the story sucks, it absolutely sucks. And this is their top line book. This is their A-team, right? Well, supposedly, this is Star Wars. This is the launch of the High Republic. It was supposed to be a bestseller. Nobody's fucking reading this crap. Oh, did you guys see? Here, I'll bring this up. Oh, that's the best picture of my kid. I should show that off. Here we go. The Let's Get High Republic premiered on YouTube. And apparently it wasn't that popular. I know this might be shocking to some of you. Oh, look, there's another lesbian couple in Marvel. We'll get to that in just a moment. Riri Williams is going to be bisexual. Why don't we just make everyone bisexual and just get it over with? Where did it go? Oh, it's an older story. There it is. Okay, so we'll just go straight to the YouTube channel. Oh, I don't want to hear you. So there's Justine Ireland. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can't because I have it cut off. So let's fix that. Whoops. So you can see the views. There we go. So it's got 103,000 views. Now, on the day it aired, and this was a few days ago, which was on February, I think it came out of February 6th, 5th or 6th. So it's been a few days. Its initial 24 hours, it had 100,000 views. The premiere episode currently sits at a little over 100,000 views. However, 6.2 gave it a thumbs up and 3.5 viewers have given it a thumbs down. So since that 24 hours, folks, it's only gotten 3,000 views. The reason it's only gotten 3,000 views and the reason it has 100,000 views is because it was embedded on websites. It was embedded on a couple of websites, which automatically inflates your numbers. We've talked about this with Star Trek videos. A video with 103,000 views normally has at the very minimum 10,000 likes. 10,000 likes. And on average, my average YouTube video with 100,000 views has 10, 15,000 likes and 500 to 1,000 dislikes. So this one has 4,600 dislikes. So it's creeping up. It's almost at a 50-50 ratio. This is on a channel with 3.54 million subscribers. This is abysmal. It's absolutely abysmal. I haven't even looked at the comment section yet. Oh, does it not have one? It's got to have one. There we go. Luke Skywalker is Star Wars. Oh, a nice racist you have here, Disney. Where's Luke? The Great Disaster probably refers to these writers in this awful property. More Mandalorian and Luke. We don't want progress splaining and the High Republic. Long live the expanded universe, the real continuation of Star Wars post Return of the Jedi, New Jedi Order, Fate of the Jedi, Legacy of the Force, X-Wing series, Heir to the Empire, and Legacy will always be the Star Wars I think of after Return of the Jedi. Everything made by Disney can be stuck in a trash can, except maybe The Mandalorian. Looks like comments aren't being deleted and at light speed anymore. All those dislikes have been removed, though. Yeah, they did. They have been deleting comments and removing dislikes because the ratio was a little tighter when I checked back last night. So they are doing something a little fun. No, it came out January 27th. Whoa, that's even worse. So in its first 24 hours, it had 100,000 views. Since January 7th, it's gotten 3,000 because it's no longer embedded. Nobody cares. Probably all that downvoting had something to do with it as well. So nobody cares. Nobody cares. So some may argue, and you could, it's fine if you want to argue, that this is why they're going to erase the Disney trilogy or retcon. They could. They certainly could. I just think, no, I know what the politics are at Disney. I know what direction they're going in, and they're going in this direction. And it's you're absolutely right. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's unnecessary when you were given a gift. Again, at the end of The Mandalorian, the fan showed you something that marketing companies try to show companies and charge a lot of money for instantly, overnight. That fans want Luke. Give me more Luke. Unfuck what you did to Luke. Ball's in their court. I don't think they're going to do shit personally, but I hope I'm wrong. And it still feels like Disney kind of focuses more on Star Wars than Marvel, maybe because they feel like Marvel's in good hands with Kevin Feige. I don't know. But, you know, Marvel's clearly been more successful. WandaVision and The Mandalorian both got off to good starts. They both got off to good starts. But they're not enough. They're not enough. And we have an article proving this. Let's go back to Star Wars and Hasbro. And the devil's in the details with this article. Thought it was interesting. Ichibaka was tweeting this, so that's how I saw it. So thanks, Ichibaka. Star Wars saves Hasbro's 2020 sales with Mandalorian toys. That sounds like a great headline, doesn't it? Like, fuck yeah. And the sales were up. The Mandalorian, obviously, Baby Yoda, selling a lot of shit. People want, Mandalorian toys. It's popular, absolutely. But is it enough? Is it enough? Move over, Mr. Potato Head. Here comes Baby Yoda. Toy maker Hasbro reported a double-digit sales surge tied to its Star Wars merchandise last year, thanks to the Mandalorian series, streaming on Disney+. Remember, it's a double-digit sales surge from previous year. Hasbro Star Wars revenue grew nearly 70% last year, based on the previous year, despite it being the first year without theatrical release since 2014, Hasbro Chief Executive and Chairman Brian Goldner said during an earnings call. Hasbro also saw a surge in sales in traditional toys and games like Monopoly and Operation as parents look for ways to entertain their kids during coronavirus lockdowns, the company said, and entertain themselves. But the increase was mostly limited to the U.S. and Canada, which weighed on its overall results and disappointed investors. Uh-oh. You mean to tell me you can't just rely on The Mandalorian? I wonder who's been saying that. The stock ended down 4.25% to end at $93.15 a share. In a research note, D.A. Davidson analyst Linda Bolton Weiser attributed the stock decline entirely due to underperforming internationally. I would also say no movies coming out that you had properties related to played pretty big in that. Demand for its signature toys abroad was weak, resulting in total sales decline last year of 8% to $5.5 billion at a time when toys were flying off the shelves worldwide. For the fourth quarter, Hasbro reported earnings of $105.2 million, down from $267.3 million in 2019, and that wasn't a great year either. Remember, Toys R Us is gone, thanks to Star Wars. After excluding items, Hasbro's earnings per share of 1.27 still beat expectations for the 1.14 per share, which is good. Revenue, because that's, the one way you beat expectations is by lowering them as much as possible. Revenue for the quarter rose, but only by 4% to $1.72 billion. Man, they still make a lot of fucking money off toys, don't they? That's a lot of money. Hasbro attributed some of the weaknesses to the underdeveloped e-commerce in regions like Latin America. Oh, did you hear that? Latin America, you're underdeveloped. That's part of the problem. We didn't make enough money is you're underdeveloped. Get fucked. Adding that it had to mark down, maybe they're, saving money because maybe the South Americans were smarter and were saving their money because they're in a fucking coof and they don't know when they're going to work again. Adding that it had to mark down merchandise in both Latin America and Asia to move in inventory. It's because nobody was working. They didn't have money to spend. You don't want to know why Americans and Canadians had money to spend? Because in 2019, we had the best economy of our lifetime. The best economy of our lifetime that we are going to be begging for in a couple of years after, what will be probably a couple of year recession. And hopefully it's only just a recession. Now, some aspects of are doing really good. That's good. But it's not like 2019 when not everybody was rolling, but most people were. Adding that it had to mark, I read that part. Demand in Europe was flat, the company said, without elaborating. Well, I wonder why. They were locked down, except in Sweden. Sales, was it Sweden? I can't remember now. Sales in the U.S. and Canada, by contrast, popped by 16% in the fourth quarter. Board games like Magic the Gathering and Monopoly each saw their best years ever in 2020. That's cool. That's good to hear. I like that. While class games like Jenga, Operation, and Connect 4 had a stellar year. That's cool. That's great news, actually. But licensing revenue or merchandise tied to movie releases suffered overall. Hollywood largely refrained from new releases. In addition to Star Wars, Hasbro has had licensing deals tied to Spider-Man, Transformers, and Power Rangers. So, if it wasn't for The Mandalorian, Hasbro be in some deep shit right now. But it saved it. But it only saved it from utter disaster. So that's what that headline doesn't tell you. And it also tells you that Mandalorian toys aren't going to be enough. These franchises need billion-dollar blockbuster movies. Streaming TV shows will not be enough for a very long time. For one, the streaming services themselves are not profitable yet and are not even close to being profitable yet. You need all of these streaming services to first be the exclusive home for all of your content, which it never will be. It never will be. They can stop making DVDs and Blu-rays tomorrow. There'll be a huge black market, and there's Tortuga. So, like with Paramount Plus, they're going to try to eventually be the exclusive home for Star Trek, but they won't be for like a year at least, because you can still watch Star Trek on Netflix. Are you going to subscribe to Paramount Plus to watch Star Trek, or are you just going to stay subscribed to Netflix to watch Star Trek? Because I wouldn't, fuck that. Or are you going to just buy physical media, which is what I recommend. Buy physical media, and that way you can pick and choose, and it'll end up being a lot cheaper than just jumping off of streaming services all the time for movies and stuff like that. But that being said, You need your blockbuster films. This needs to work. So you can have the tie-ins, the toys, all the advertising. And despite people trying to save AMC, the stock's back down. The theaters are going to be halved by the time they do reopen at limited capacity. And it's not something I'm happy about. I'm not happy about that at all. It sucks. Keep fighting the good fight. Sorry, it's not much. Evolution of the Geek, you don't have to ever apologize. Thank you for anything you guys give. 99 cents to $500 or just your time. It's good. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you for spending time here. That is just being here is more than enough. It's more than enough. Thank you. Trinoculus P for $5. I'm thankful to New Who for one reason. I found your channel, checking to see if it's worth a watch. Well, I am thankful for New Who for that as well. Right back at you, Trinoculus P. I appreciate that. Roger Haynes and Not Another Dime, both with thumbs up for $1.99. One's an American peso and one's a Canadian peso, or 2 pesos. By Grabthar's Hammer. Oh, you saw my shirt. There you go. Manowar 665, Neighbor of the Beast. That's right. That's the only reason I'd wear purple. May Alan Rickman rest in peace. The guy was fucking awesome. Missed that guy. Kinnell suckles on man nipples for £2. Only new thing I want to see is the Snyder Cut. Oh, the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut. Everybody's talking about the Snyder Cut. Yeah, that picture of Joker, that was fucking cool. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It was effing cool. Okay, I have another Doctor Who article I got to read in a minute. We are done looking at that She-Hulk shite. I probably should have done this a long time ago, but nope. Oh, where'd it go? Well, we're gonna look at there it is. We're gonna look at Joker. So Jared Leto tweeted out some. I guess he tweeted out some images of the Joker, and it. Fuck, this was. I was kind of very happy about this. There we go. That's better. So, no, not very popular. This Joker wasn't very popular. The tattoos were lame. Now, if this was going to be Robin Joker, I thought that idea was cool. I thought that was very cool. And that's kind of what I had in my head when I was watching Suicide Squad in this, that this was, and apparently it's going to be, well, I don't know if it was going to be a Tim Drake or no, because, Dick was dead. I hate it when Dick is dead, but Dick was dead. So I don't know if this was going to be Jason Todd or Tim Drake. I can't remember. But that's what I had in my head when I was watching this, that this wasn't the real Joker. This is like Joker 2.0. Because the tattoos are ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. Jared Leto's a good actor. He's a good actor. But this is fucking better. This is much better. And, yes, of course, you feel a little bit of Joker in there. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. So I think this is from the nightmare scene, and I don't know how long that's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen in the Snyder Cut. I have heard that 2 characters might die at the end. And wow, that would suck if you did get a sequel. Here's what I do know about the Snyder Cut. It's earned a lot of goodwill because of the fans. Now, when it comes to the Snyder Cut fans, they can be salty. Some of them can be pretty salty. Some of them can get very angry if you criticize it. But that's fandom. That's the way fandom has always been. That's the way fandom will be. To label them toxic fandom it's as ridiculous as labeling a hashtag the fandom menace as toxic fandom. Fans have always been like this. We now have a platform, though. We can go on a YouTube channel and state our opinions. Opinions I was stating at my comic shop before. Not much has changed. I just have a place to do it now. But if you ask anybody at the comic shop, nothing's really changed with me. Sure, there's assholes out there. There always is. But I would argue, for one, that term was made up by the access media to gain more access with the creatives, who can be just as big assholes as any individual fan with an anonymous whatever. And what the access media does is they like to conflate the few assholes who come in who are just in there to mix shit up. They might not even be fans, right? And they love to conflate the worst of the worst with, I think your movie sucks. I think your movie sucks isn't toxic. It is just a fan stating their opinion. And these fans care. And that's why they're passionate. They give a shit about this. I think everything we've seen from the Snyder Cut, for the most part, has been pretty good, except for Ray Fisher running out there and running his mouth and trying to get rid of Walter Hamada and all that shit. I think that put a dark cloud over it. And I think it turned a lot of people off because Ray Fisher came off like a snitch, which he was. He's a snitch. And yeah, sure, Joss Whedon was probably an asshole to him, and he probably got railroaded like every other actor does. And I guess Ray Fisher decided to sacrifice his entire career for what he says in integrity over entertainment. And maybe he's got proof. I don't know. Does he got proof of the racism? That's the thing I want. Were people mean to him at Hollywood? I really don't give a shit. Be a man. Stand up to that kind of shit. There's a way to deal with that. You stand up and deal with it right there. And if you're so worried about authenticity or integrity or whatever, then give up your fucking job right there and then. Right to the man's face. That's what I did. Took me a long time to learn that. I put up with a lot of shit when I was younger. But when people tried that shit with me when I was in my 40s, especially, after I sold the comic shop and I was a boss, when people tried that shit with me, fuck no. Hell no. You try talking to me like that, fuck your job. I don't need it. It's pretty easy to deal with right there and then, face to face, like men, not running through the media. And that's trying to cancel people. And again, I don't like defending Joss Whedon. He's a prick. I don't know shit about Walter Hamada. All I know, he's a successful producer, and he's going to make sure Ray Fisher doesn't work again. But it put a dark cloud over what was generally a positive thing. The Snyder Cut, they raised money for suicide prevention. And however this fucking happened, the fans got their Snyder Cut that they were dying for. And that's great. I really want it to be good. I want it to get a sequel. And the only way it's going to get a sequel is it has to be the single most watched thing on the internet probably ever. It has to be watched more than the Luke return at the end of The Mandalorian, because it's got 24 hours. Because fucking Marvel, Kevin Feige is a cold-blooded killer. Don't think you see that Opie fucking Richie Cunningham face. You think he's a sweet guy? No, the dude is a slayer. He's a fucking slayer. Falcon and Winter Soldier is releasing the very next day. Do you think that's a fucking accident? Do you seriously think that's an accident? They were just waiting for the release date of the Snyder Cut, and they're all, should we do it on the same day? Should we do it on the same day or the day after? And they said, let's give them 24 hours. Let's give them a little hope and then rip their heart out. Now, I know DC fans were like, fuck Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm going to watch Snyder Cut 100 times. They're not worried about you. It's the normies. And if WandaVision stays as it, and listen, if there's a bigger cameo, WandaVision's going to even be more popular, and it's going to roll right into Falcon and Winter Soldier. And you got a little blip of the Snyder Cut in between. It's going to get crushed. I'm sorry, but it's going to get crushed. And I don't want it to get crushed. I would rather, I'm kind of done with a lot of Marvel stuff. The one thing that's piqued my interest that I didn't know was even there was Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen are great. So I hope the Snyder Cut is radically different. I hope that we do see, because a lot of the arguments for Superman and Batman were they're on a character arc, and we're going to see part of that character arc, and they're going to become closer to what they are in the comics. And we'll see if that happens. But that looks fucking good. Darkseid, I hope Darkseid isn't in it for like 2 seconds. I hope Darkseid is in the movie a lot. And I hope we see a radically different movie than we saw in the theaters. I want it to succeed. But it's behind the 8 ball because Ray Fisher helped fuck that up a little bit, and all the momentum was going. And yeah, there's probably a certain group at Warner Brothers who just want this to go away, including probably Jeff Johns, because he's been shit on so much by the Snyder Cut fans. And I don't know if that's deserved or not. I haven't seen any factual evidence that Jeff Johns had anything other than, he probably just didn't like the Justice League or Zack Snyder's vision. Jeff Johns is a damn good comic book writer. He hasn't really impressed me as far as TV and film is concerned. And I think he's probably best suited for comic book writing, but apparently he has higher aspirations. But, he keeps pumping out shit like Titans or having his name on Batwoman. That doesn't usually help. But I root for DC, man. I want him to win. And this looks fucking cool. That looks fucking cool. So well done. Well done. Does it fix the Joker? We'll see. We will see. MG, welcome to the proto-molecule level. I appreciate it. Hail. Sheesh, 316 for $5. Nerdrotic, for the love of Pete, release the Picard cut. Also, stop calling your book a sequel. Stop calling your book a sequel. What book? My book? I'm confused. Sheesh 316 in the chat. Clarify what I'm calling a sequel. I mean, I make mistakes all the time. So yes, the Picard review. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I made a promise to myself at the beginning of the year that I was going to do more reviews, and I really got tied up last week with the Game of Thrones video. So I do need to. I mean, I don't know. I've been kind of back and forth on it, but I've been making a Batwoman review for the last episode since we didn't get Batwoman. I wasn't going to review the fucking Equalizer. Hell no, I'm not touching that shit. So I might put that out, but the Picard review is coming. It's going to take a little while longer because I have to watch Picard to do it, and it fucking sucks. Plumber's butt crap, but thanks, sheesh. Plumber's butt crack for 5 Canadian pesos. She-Hulk and Blade are going to be woke as hell and will be a big pile of crap, and that will fail big time. Yeah, one of the writers, the writer for Blade is one of the writers from the Watchmen TV series, and they only considered black writers for Blade, who was created by a dude. And this makes me think of another Bounding in the Comics article, right? Another Bounding in the Comics article with the great Roy Thomas was on a live stream with Dan Fraga Boom. And I got to look for that. And he said something pretty prophetic, I thought, concerning creatives coming in. And Jackie, there it is. Only black writers considered for Marvel's Blade. There it is. Okay. This guy's a legend. This guy's a fucking legend. If you watched the BBC last week, I was going through a bunch of Savage Swords of Conan. Well, this guy was responsible for a lot of that. He was the editor that took over for Stan Lee. He was the editor for my era of comics. I started picking up comics when Roy Thomas was there. It was the best era for comic books. So he was asked a specific question. By the way, subscribe to Dan Fraga Boom, good guy. He's got Indiegogo books that will, we're going to get him on Friday Night Tights, I think, for the finale. Well, I haven't asked him yet, but for the finale of WandaVision, I think I want to get him on. I want to get a comic book guy on with other people. So of the people who dabble in comics but direct films or write best-selling novels, Thomas said sometimes, wait, I got ahead of myself. In a recent interview with Fragga Boom, the Fragga Boom podcast, Thomas discussed what he believes separates genuine comic creatives from outsiders who enter the business after spending time in another industry or medium, such as Hollywood or novel writing. Of the people who dabble in comics but direct films or write best-selling novels, Thomas said, sometimes I want to go for these people's damn throats because they may be good writers. They may be even good comic book writers. Nothing against them, but I don't think there's something automatically superior about somebody simply because he comes from having written and drawn in another field. He added, is an illustrator out of another field better when he comes into comics than a good comic book artist? Is there any proof that these New York Times best-selling authors would have made up Wolverine or Spider-Man? A lot of these characters us fanboy types made up. I don't think so. I'll back you up on that, Roy. I know they won't and don't because they haven't. If they were capable of creating characters like that, they would. But they're not. He also doesn't think they would have created the comic book industry as we know it today, and admitted he is comfortable with the term fanboy, as am I. To him, it isn't a term of derision, but rather a term of perfectly fits the likes of himself, Marv Wolfman, and others who entered comics as fans and moved up the ranks. Now remember, and Dan Fraga brings this up in his live stream, Roy Thomas was one of the first comic book fans to be in any kind of power in the industry. Prior to that, you had Stan Lee, who was not a comic book fan before he got into Marvel. It was a job. These are Depression era employees, people who just worked because they wanted to work because they knew what it was like to fucking starve from the Depression. You know, it's a different generation that this current generation would never, ever understand. The gratitude that people had in working jobs because their parents didn't have any, or they starved, or the way my dad had to eat when he was a kid, which is just one generation ago. His mom had basically a soup boiling all the time. They didn't have a refrigerator. They could keep their meat cold and stuff because it was just fucking, 10 below all the time in the wintertime in South Dakota. But that's how they always had this pot boiling, right? And that's what they ate every day because they had to, because they didn't have a fucking fridge, because they didn't have power. It's crazy. So yeah, Roy Thomas. And after this live stream, you can go check out Fragga Boom's channel, watch the whole interview. It's really good. It's really good. Fucking Roy Thomas is a legend. Legend. Travis, by the way, he's not a billion. The guy should be a multi-millionaire with what he has created, what he's done for the industries, the story he's comes from. But he's just a modest guy, like most of the comic book guys are, because, Disney doesn't give a fuck. Disney doesn't give a fuck. No corporations actually give a fuck. They can say they're out for a cause or whatever. They don't give a shit. They think it's the best way to make money. They will abandon your cause like a bad fucking habit. It's just a matter of time. Star Wars is fine for me because Disney made a completely different product, and all I have to do is pretend that Disney stuff doesn't exist. The 6 real Star Wars movies and the EU make me happy, says Travis for $10. You're exactly right. And that's something that Doctor Who fans can't do now, because every time, I mean, listen, I'm fine with it because it ended for me essentially at the 50th anniversary. You know, other than a few Capaldi episodes, that's where it ended for me. But I used to really enjoy Big Finish and reading books, and I collected all the comic books. And I thought Titan was doing a really good job with the comics. Big Finish was mostly doing a good job with the audio adventures, and some of the books were great. Michael Moorcock writes a fucking Doctor Who book, wrote a Doctor Who book. But now they're woke as hell, and Jodie has poisoned the well. And I did not mean that to rhyme. I could have lived with Jodie being the Doctor for 3 years, and then they did away with her, and we went on to another Doctor, and I would just forget that era. But we all knew deep down inside it wasn't going to work, and they were going to change things. I don't think, when I heard for the first time that the Doctor was going to be originally a female, it was because I was joking. I was on a live stream years ago going, well, I was reading an article about they're going to go into the Time Lord's past and they're going to mess with it. I'm like, they're probably going to make the Doctor a girl because woke fucking storytelling is so fucking predictable nowadays. So I said that, and my buddy, text me, said, call me. So I called him. And he's all, oh, you're right. I'm right about what? And he's all, oh, they're going to make the Doctor a girl. I'm all, they've already made the Doctor a girl. No, he's all, no. They're going to make the Doctor originally a girl. I'm like, fuck. I didn't even doubt it. Once I heard it, I'm like, fuck. So I heard it, and I'm like, all right, I don't know. And I told a couple of YouTubers. I told Bulls Trek behind the scenes before I went out with the rumor. And then it happened. And even knowing it was going to happen, it was like a punch in the fucking gut. Absolute punch in the gut. And it felt worse than when they announced Jodie, because when they announced Jodie, I'm like, it's just going to go to shit. And I watched the first episode hoping I was going to be wrong, and you figure it out in the first 5 minutes that it's absolute shit. I tried to be as fair as possible, but it's shit. And just like Batwoman is shit. But shit sells. Can I say? But not anymore. New UK news channel starting called GB News. Great Britain News, which will have the people, the BBC, ITV, and others let go because they were not in line with their deals. Which will have the people, the BBC, the ITV, and others let go because they did not. I don't know what you're trying to say there, Operation HQ. I think I'm missing a word there. But is it good? Is GB News good? Is it going to be free of agenda? Probably. I mean, we'll see. Let me know. Make the Doctor a hot Indian woman with a sexy British accent, says Zane Elliott. No. Why don't you make a new character as a hot Indian woman with a sexy British accent? I'd be fine with that. Romana. Why don't you have Romana come back as an Indian woman with a sexy British accent? Totally okay with that. I'd watch the hell out of it. I'd buy the action figures. I'd support the show. I'd review it. Well, not now, but I would have before. Tobias for $4.99. Hail, first time I've had a chance to send a chat in. Thank you. I appreciate it. I usually watch over on Nerdrotic Live, but thanks for getting me through every day at work. You're welcome, and thanks for watching on Nerdrotic Live. By the way, all live streams go to Nerdrotic Live when they are done. And yes, I'm making content. I haven't, I'll be honest with you. I went down a Witcher rabbit hole over the weekend, and it completely fucked with my my workload. Your Muslim uncle for $4.99. Midnight's Edge was talking about just jumped on me. I hate it when it does that. Give me just a moment. I'll get back to it. Oh, Tubular Bra for $49.99. Thank you for the super sticker. That's a brilliant super sticker. Let's see if I can show it. I didn't have it set up, but maybe I can show it. I guess I can't, but I'll show it. Tubular Bra, I'll show it later. Okay. I didn't have that part set up. Sorry. All right. Where was I? Damn it. I was in the middle of a super chat. Hey, Gary, how have you been? Oh, Cracklin, what is up, dude? How have you been? I was just thinking about you the other day. I was like, where's Cracklin? Did I make him mad? I don't know. How you been, Cracklin? Thank you for the $4.99. Good to see you. Here it is. Okay, I got it. Your Muslim uncle for $4.99. Midnight's Edge was talking about She-Hulk earlier, and I had a bad idea. What if they made her trans? It's a little too perfect, but current age. No, we jested about that on Friday Night Tights back when the Dana Schwartz stuff was announced. We said that they would probably cast a trans actor as She-Hulk, and I would not put it out of the realm of possibility. As a matter of fact, the show's kind of perfect for it. And oh my God. So Kevin Feige, like I said on Twitter the other day, I dare you. I dare you. I double dog dare you. I double triple dog dare you to not only make the She-Hulk look, and you know what you would call it? The intersectional she-her Hulk, or they-them Hulk. Pronoun pulsing power, true believers. The intersectional they-them Hulk. I got to pull up that Hulk picture again for dramatic effect. Oh, they're gender swapping Flag Smasher. I mean, that I don't care about that one. That's fine. I don't give a shit. Here it is. Does anybody care that Riri is going to be bisexual? I don't. She's a dumb character that I can ignore. All right, back to She-Hulk. Yeah, we were speculating on the possibility of it really is perfect. So I dare you, Kevin Feige. You want to be down with the cause? Same thing we said about the Eternals. If you're going to have two gay men kissing, then I want to see vigorous gay sex in a MCU film. If you're really, really down with the cause. And yeah, if Riri Williams, scissoring, hardcore scissoring. I want you to do You Porn Proud or whatever porn thing there is. Rover, $9.99. For them, it's not about telling good stories or respecting characters and their history. It's about claiming territory and planting the flag for their ideology on the current map. Indeed. That's really loud. Sorry. Indeed. Well said. The Zardoz for $20. If they wanted a female Doctor Who, why did they just not use Jenny from the 4th series episode, The Poison Sky? In that way, you did have a change to the canon. Was that in The Poison Sky? I thought The Poison Sky was... That wasn't Jenny. No, that's a different episode. But wasn't the point? I thought The Poison Sky was that's not The Poison Sky. But it doesn't matter. You're talking about Jenny. All right. So the Doctor's daughter, right? They could have used. Oh, wait a minute. Jenny from The Poison Sky. God, it's been a while since I watched it. The Zardoz, they've had plenty of opportunities to make a new character, a female Time Lord. It would be, nobody would complain about it. You could do a Dr. Donna. Nobody would complain about it. But they had to that goes perfectly. The Zardoz, thank you for the $20 with Rover's Super Chat. For them, it's not about telling good stories or respecting characters or their history. It's about claiming territory and planting the flag for their ideology and the culture map. It was about having a scalp. They wanted a male character's scalp, and they got one, and they dominated. And this isn't about working together. This isn't about inclusivity and diversity. This is about domination and power. And they were happy to sacrifice the male character of the Doctor, breaking the show forever. And they're still in denial about it. They still think this shit could work. Like it's actually going to turn around. Like people actually give a fuck. Unfortunately for Doctor Who in the current environment, now they need America. They need the international audiences where they didn't really need them before. They were nice to have, but the British public drove Doctor Who, and it still does, but they need other audiences now. And that's where they've lost a lot. There's still 3-4 million people who watch this garbage Doctor Who, which is incredible. Dwayne Johnson has his own TV show, Young Rock. Isn't this a ripoff of Everyone Hates Chris, the opposition HQ for $5, or Young Sheldon, maybe? I don't know. Dwayne Johnson has a massive ego, so it doesn't surprise me at all. Cracklin for $4.99. Hey, Gary, how have you been? And I read that one, and I have been good, my friend. I have been good. Thanks. It's good to see you. The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS for $10. Hail, Gary. I think Universal should pick up Doctor Who to save it. They had prior relations in the 96 TV. Can use Harry Potter to come over to Doctor Who, especially at the theme parks. # Gary moved to Florida. Yeah, but Harry Potter's owned by, it's a Warner Brothers property that Universal has the park rights to. I think Warner Brothers would be a better destination for Doctor Who. I wouldn't complain about Universal, though. I'd take that, too. But that relation is a long time ago, and Warner Brothers has a more recent relations with His Dark Materials, and, of course, I'm blanking on the other one. Alan Howlett, thank you for joining the Proto-Molecule level. I appreciate it. Dolores Ed for $4.99. What's up? Been a while since I've been here to watch your shows and send you a super chat. Life has been a bit much lately. I appreciate you and the Friday Night Tights crew. Well, thank you. We appreciate you too. We've got some big stuff going on with Friday Night Tights. We are, I don't know if I can say any of it though. We're working on a t-shirt, finally. Working on a t-shirt. This Friday, we have Carrie Smith from Unsafe Space joining us. And then next Friday, we have Lauren Chen. And more surprises after that. And we're going to have a panel for the WandaVision season finale review. A pretty good panel that I'm trying to work on. So keep an eye out for that. Fat Steven Seagal beat up my Shazadam. Yes, did you hear? Brian Michael Bendis says it's a rumor. Bleeding Cool reported that they are not going to call Black Adam. He's going to be called Shazadam, which is a big problem because Shazam is an acronym. SJ Almighty for £2. Is it wrong that I want the 80s She-Hulk is sexy? No, it's not wrong at all. And I think most people want that. I think most women would want that. Being sexy can be empowering, can be very empowering. So at least there was a lot of feminists who said that in the past, and there's a lot of women who say that right now. So yes, the sexy She-Hulk would be immensely popular if they had a real writer working on the show and not Dana Schwartz, who is not a real writer, who cannot write comic book superheroes and has shown, I mean, go look at her past, go look at what she's written before. And this is the biggest problem is they're picking from a pretty thin talent pool because women aren't interested in superheroes. I repeat, women generally, for the most part, the vast majority of women are not interested in comic book superheroes. If they were, more would read them and then want to write them. Oh, sure. There's plenty who are happy to write them if they're offered jobs, but they do not know much about comic books, including Kelly Suck DeConnick. Kelly Suck DeConnick is just a Portland freaking edgelord who probably dabbled in comic books. And sure, I had women who came into the store and bought stacks of superhero books, but not many. And I was living in San Francisco. And I tried. And they just aren't. They like the movies. They certainly like the TV shows, but they don't like the source material. And it's not like they hate it. They're just not interested. It's apathy. So you don't have that experience to come in and write a real character. So what you're getting is a soap opera writer coming in to write Doctor Who, Star Trek, Marvel Comics, and it comes off like shit. Nothing wrong with it. It's just the truth. But they can't even say that now because they don't want to hire experienced people because they would rather virtue signal. And they just think things will work out because audiences are mostly dumb. And that's pretty much what Hollywood thinks of you folks. And me, too. Check out The Magicians on Netflix. We Tune to See on Netflix. Great storytelling. Harry Potter meets Narnia with the early Game of Thrones approach. The woke is only in to be ridiculed. Oh, I watched The Magicians. It was not for me. I tried when it was on the air because it was on Sci-Fi, right? It was on Sci-Fi. Yep, not for me, but thanks. The Gay Rascal for $4.49. She-Hulk put Gorilla Glue in her hair, obviously, and got $13,000 for it. Jesus. Chase Asher for $5. I miss when Carol Danvers was just a member of the Starjammers and was binary. Yes, and now she's non-binary. That's going to be her new name, non-binary. I remember when she was a member of the Avengers. Pronounced Maclachlan. Okay, Oliver McLaughlin. I would have gotten that right. I think they are going to turn us off women. Is it working? It kind of is. I am beyond tired of the kick-ass female. The kick-ass female has now officially become a trope. It's a stupid one. And I'm over it, completely over it. It was different in the late 90s when it started. As far as being something they do more often, Ripley, Sarah Connor were outliers. But then in the mid 90s, the girls kick ass. There was a feminist move going on. Girls kick ass. They were more sexualized and it was better, but the 90s had more female comics and they had Danger Girl and Laura Croft and all that stuff was going. Yeah. It's tired now. I'm done. So their next step is we're just going to make women exactly the same as men, same strength, same everything. So in Star Trek, you have 5'4" Sonequa Martin Green and Michelle Yeoh beating the shit out of 300-pound men. It's just stupid. It's stupid. And they go, see, girls can kick ass too. These are the kind of people. So they're hiring writers. They're hiring people who use the term fierce females unironically in a sentence during like lunch conversation. All of their knowledge is gained by the what they listen to on NPR on the drive from work, as far as the world is concerned. And then they're back into their vapid, vacuous, self-indulgent, narcissistic circles of circle jerk. Pine Barrens legend. The gold standard for getting your woke message in and still being entertaining is not insulting was the original Penny Dreadful with Ava Green. Yeah, I would agree with that. That was, it had woke stuff, but it was half a really entertaining show and half, John Logan really being self-indulgent as far as having some of the most verbose scripts I've ever heard. The Frankenstein part was pretty cool. That was Rory. I can't remember his name now. I thought the Frankenstein part was cool, but then they would kill characters you like randomly. But Ava Green was good. She's good. Uplift Heart for $5. Gary, Marvel could have made a movie starring Mr. Hanky and Christmas Pooh. Put it between two Avengers movies, and it still would have made $1 billion. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Tall, Dark, and Gruesome for £5. Says, Charisma Carpenter has now come out with the allegations against Whedon. Just saw SMG's Instagram statement. Sarah Michelle. Oh, you mean it's happening right now? Oh, well, let's go look, shall we? Is it on Twitter or Instagram? Sorry. It's on Sarah Michelle okay. Sarah Michelle Gellar's Instagram. Wow. Holy crap. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay. So while I am proud to have my name associated with Buffy Summers, I do not want to be forever associated with the name Joss Whedon. I am more focused on raising my family and surviving a pandemic currently, so I will not be making any further statements at this time, but I stand with all survivors of abuse and am proud of them for speaking out. Now, by all accounts, Charisma did not get along with Sarah Michelle Gellar on the set. Yeah, I didn't know this was going down right now. I don't know what she said, though. Let's see if I can look it up real quick. All right. Buffy star speaks out about surviving Joss Whedon's toxic abuse. This is no secret. I had a guy, it was a friend, it was a mutual friend, a guy named Aaron. Okay. He's been on this show back in the early days. If you dig deep on the website, you might be able to see him pop up in a couple of live streams. But Aaron worked on the set of Buffy. He was in, I can't remember the name of the episode, but when Xander was on the swim team, right? So he was in that episode, and he also was in a picture. I think he was Janeway's son, but only in a photograph. And he told me that, Joss Whedon could be a tyrant on set, but it was like absolutely accepted back then. That's kind of how things were, right? Now, I don't know how bad of a tyrant. Now, later we found out that he was, screwing all the actresses too. Again, I mean, it's Hollywood. It's a producer. It doesn't give you an excuse to be abusive, though. And I'm surprised James Cameron's still working because I've heard he's worse. Another actor has come forward to accuse director Joss Whedon, 56, of alleged abuse on set behavior. Charisma Carpenter, 50, who played Cordelia Chase in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and spinoff series Angel, both great series, took to social media Wednesday to detail Whedon's alleged toxic and hostile behavior toward her and others. Joss Whedon abused his powers on numerous occasions while working on the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. Carpenter writes in the essay-length post, while he found his misconduct amusing, it only served to intensify my performance anxiety, disempower me, and alienate me from my peers. The disturbing incidents triggered a chronic physical condition from which I still suffer. It is with a beating heavy heart that I say I coped in isolation and at times destructively. Sarah Michelle Gellar chimed in Carpenter's Survival, Why I'm Proud, and I just read that. Carpenter goes on to claim that Whedon allegedly called her fat when she was 4 months pregnant, and then in retaliatory move demanded a 1 a.m. call time for her despite her being 6 months pregnant and her doctor's advice to shorten her work hours. She also claims she was involved in a closed-door meeting in which Whedon manipulatively weaponized my womanhood and faith against me and accused her of sabotaging the show in other... she said this before. She has said this before. In other meetings, she alleged that he interrogated her about a rosary tattoo, and throughout the workplace, she writes, he employed mean and biting behavior. The post is captioned, My Truth across platforms and hashtag I stand with Ray Fisher. Fisher 33 worked with Whedon in 2017's Justice League film. And last summer, the actor alleged on Twitter that Whedon's behavior on set was gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable. Co-star Jason Momoa, 41, who played Aquaman, backed Fisher's claims as well. Amber Benson, 44, who played Tara on Buffy, responded to Carpenter's post with her own experience on the set and said, Buffy was a toxic environment and it starts at the top, Benson tweeted. There were a lot of damage done during the time, and many of us still are processing it 20 plus years later. Okay. Let's remember these are actors. These are actors. I'm not here to defend Joss Whedon. I've heard he's a dick. And not everybody is tough. Not everybody can sit there and say, fuck you. If you're saying that stuff to me, in Hollywood, Joss Whedon probably used his power, and he had immense power. So these people would never work in Hollywood again. And quite frankly, they didn't work very much afterwards. We're talking, this is years later. But if you're still processing damage done from a workplace 2 decades later, when the worst thing that happened was somebody was incredibly mean to you, I mean, like, maybe they're holding back. Like if we're talking about assault, sexual assault, okay, fine, sure. But verbally mean to you, you wouldn't believe the shit that I went through in my work life in the auto industry. I worked at a place where the guy fucked me over. He paid me under the table, said he would take care of the taxes, and then made me pay the taxes. It was one of the worst places I've ever worked. I'll fucking name it right now. Should I? I might name it. It's a German car shop in San Francisco. The place was filled with like guys who are very comfortable dropping the N-word daily and the F-word in San Francisco. They were like clowning gay couples in the waiting room, like clowning them. These were like real pieces of shit, But yeah, I worked in places like that all the fucking time. It was terrible, but man, I'm fine. It's like, yeah, it sucked. And I left. You're in an environment like that, and it's like, if it's damaging you that much, your acting career isn't worth it. Your job isn't worth it. There's other things in life. You don't need to put up with that shit. You just don't. You are not powerless. You could have walked away. Yes, you're walking away from an acting career, but honestly, you know what? She had power. She was a popular character. I wish she was in it more, to be honest with you. I thought she had a pretty good character arc. But I don't know. It is not okay to fucking abuse people all the time and stuff, but you know, like, coming out decades later, that's just something I don't like about that either. They both suck. How's that sound? Now, again, I don't know if there was like any kind of like sexual weird, if it was bad, then yes, of course, I understand there being psychological trauma. And maybe I'm just an insensitive asshole, but you know what? Yeah, people are assholes in life. And if Charisma Carpenter, if you were traumatized 20 years later, then Joss Whedon won. He beat you. He beat you in every way. You let that shit go. Sure, it sucked, but it was decades ago. No, this is revenge, and maybe it's earned. Maybe Joss Whedon earned it, but that's what it is. Are they really psychologically damaged after? I don't know. Are they trumping it up and riding Ray Fisher's coattails? Jason Momoa came out, but how come nobody else is coming out? But Sarah Michelle Gellar, I mean, yeah, she said she didn't want her name attached to Joss Whedon. I don't think anybody wants their name attached to Joss Whedon right now. As a matter of fact, I think Marvel's like, can we get his name off the Avengers? Guy's an asshole. But yeah, I remember hearing about this back then. I remember thinking it was fucked up back then because yes, he did get mad at her for being pregnant. It's like, write it into the fucking show. But now, you know, as more things come to light, I understand why Fox was so quick to act Serenity, right? Because there was always word that it was more than just the plot. People didn't like working with Joss Whedon. He was a pain in the ass. Same thing for Gene Roddenberry. If Gene Roddenberry even made Star Trek, shit, he could still get canceled. But there was a lot of similarities between Gene Roddenberry and Joss Whedon. Just saying. Why is this the year of fan service? As far as Disney is going, it seems to be another year of how can we promote the agenda while making money? Finbar Hooley. I'm very happy to let you write off Disney Plus and anything Disney produces. To me, pop culture is dead. I don't really care, but long live the YouTubers. Hail, Finbar Hooley. Well, I haven't blackpilled yet. I mean, that could happen. With some things I have. No, it is the year of the fan, says we, the fandom. I don't know if they're going to believe that yet, Finbar Hooley, but the fact remains, sure, Warner Brothers, Paramount, and everybody else probably thinks they can continue with their woke shit, and they're going to get the same fucking results as they got last year and the year before. The taste of the customer has not changed. What the customer wants hasn't changed. But what's affected Hollywood deeply is the rioting and looting last summer. And they think that the tone of the public has changed, which it hasn't. And they also think it was based on an election. They think now that the election is over, they've got a mandate. No, they don't. Had nothing to do with a fucking election. I think that's what a lot of people are starting to figure out now. Nope. Zero. Symptom of a much larger problem. But yeah, I'm not going to blame you. The best way to vote is with your wallet, Finbar Hooley. You're absolutely correct. Holy cow, Charisma Carpenter, Amber Benson, and Sarah coming out today against Whedon. LOL, 200 Watt Studio. Yep. piling on. I'm just gonna, you know what? Popcorn. I am sorry if any of those, like, I'm not happy that Charisma Carpenter or Amber Benson, or if their allegations are true, went through like personal trauma and shit. Listen, we've all had bad jobs. We've all had bad jobs. I'm seeing if the shop is still there. Oh, I don't think they're still here. I'll fucking name the place. I don't give a shit. That guy was an asshole. No, not here in San Francisco. Nope, they're gone now. I think they're gone. They went under. Big surprise. Yep, they gone. Not surprised at all. That kind of customer service. All right, so yeah. As far as Charisma Carpenter is concerned, I'm sorry. I always liked her. I did. I always liked her. The streams from Disney run red with millions of herrings. Some will be eaten by mainstream media. Some will reach the sea, and many will be ignored. Finbar Hooley for $5. Yeah, that's what I think that, you know, The Mandalorian is obviously a hit. It's because it's attached to Star Wars. WandaVision is going to be a hit. It's when they get outside of those two franchises, when they start doing more original Disney program, that stuff has to work for them too. And I just don't think it's going to. I don't know. Having a streaming service that you can't put rated R content on, just, I think that stunts them. And listen, Warner Brothers, I don't know if they should be kicking Disney's ass because Disney has Fox content, but they should be a true rival. They should at least be even with Disney. They've got just as many superheroes. They have fucking Harry Potter. They have the Warner Brothers cartoons. They've just never gotten their shit together. But they should be at least in. They're not competing with Disney right now. Disney's kicking Warner Brothers' ass like left and right, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't. I noticed Monica Rambeau's expression when Agent Wu mentioned Captain Marvel at the latest episode of WandaVision was sour. Laughed my butt off. Says Ederific USN Vet for $5. I did too. And it's because she felt abandoned. She's like an abandoned child. So it'll be something like that. And it's out of reverence. And I agree with Eric July. Monica Rambeau should have nothing to do with Captain Marvel. The only thing derivative is the star and the name, but she was a character in her own right. And they specifically did that because they wanted to make the black female character non-derivative from the white characters in the fucking comic. They wanted to make her her own woman. And they took that away in the MCU. And you know what? I remember kids rushing to buy that comic because anytime there was a first appearance of a superhero or a number one, it was rare. It was rare, and it meant your comic could be worth money someday. Something, you know, almost $100. I'll never forget. I'll never forget. I was in Professor X's comic books in 1981. And I was in there, and there was a Fantastic Four number one for $100. And I was begging my mom. I was like, "Oh, we'll do anything. I will be your slave for the rest of your life. Buy this for me." And she wouldn't do it. So I don't do it to her anymore because I love my mom and I don't want to be hard on her heart. I don't want to tell her how much the comic is worth now. I have one, but this thing was in mint condition. Mint. Oh. Trina, the knitter Guthridge for $5. Oh my God, I just started to sing Never Gonna Get It, Never Ever Gonna Get It. That exact time you did. LOL, it's an earworm, that song. Watch out. Eddie Sands, Mikey Spock is, and thank you, Trina. Thank you again for the scarf. Mikey Spock is one who imprisoned the God figure in Star Trek V. You're right. I thought it was, well, I think they can recut it and make it Mikey Spock, Eddie. 200-watt studio for $2. Today, Sarah Gellar and Amber Benson 2. Yes. Yeah, I saw it. Thanks, 200-watt studio. Thank you for the $2. Dan Vask. What's up, brother? The great Dan Vask. He with the dulcet tones. Preach, my dude. You keep singing, brother. Toss a coin to your witcher. George Orwell for $25. Some coin to take you off the dance floor and grab a seat. Keep going, brother. Hey, I don't mind dancing. I don't mind dancing at all. Thanks, George Orwell. Roger Haynes for 5 Canadian pesos. I got to say, Gary, you really do go beyond commentary and dive deep into the human experience. Pretty inspirational stuff. Cheers, bro. Wow. Thank you. Wow. High praise. Zathras for €5. No, euros. Lesser Evil is a great story. Do comment on it versus the Witcher adaptation. This Polish fan would absolutely love it. Yeah, Lesser Evil. Dude, that guy is a good writer. I mean, like, if Polish translation comes across that good, I can't imagine what it's like reading it in its native language. But The Lesser Evil is a fantastic story that they gutted so they could make Renfrey a more powerful, stronger, independent woman instead of the evil biatch that she was. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make... See, the thing is, they wanted to make Renfrey look like a victim, look like an honorable victim. Instead of the whole message of A Lesser Evil is evil makes more evil. Evil makes more evil. So yes, Renfrey was draped. Renfrey was wronged. But she still was a cursed monster that was mutated that needed to be killed because the one thing they left out, the reason the Witcher's called the Butcher of Blaviken is because Renfrey wanted to kill Stregobor, and she said, I'm going to kill... She wanted to get him out of the tower. So, you know how she was going to get him out of the tower? She was going to kill everybody in town to draw him out. The problem is Stregobor was such a punk that she could have killed everybody, and he still wouldn't have come out. And the Witcher knew that. He didn't want to get involved. So he was trying to stop Renfrey from killing everybody, every man, woman, and child in town. And they cut that out because they didn't want to make Renfrey look that bad. And then you cut out the whole point of the story is Renfrey was wronged. She was supposedly cursed, and these women who were born under the apocalypse were all systematically killed. And then she was draped. But it doesn't make it okay to murder an entire town to get your revenge. And the point is, his whole speech, evil is evil. In my book, society has embraced a classist system that labels people, limiting what they can do, supposed to be a warning, not relevant to the times, says Kai MFS about his book for $5. Yes. Demolition Man was supposed to be a satire, an action satire, not reality. Check out Kai's book, by the way. Beer Me Too Brett for $5. Watched Love and Monsters after your recommendation. It does have a really good message and was fun to watch. Yeah. Like, it's not reinventing the wheel. Okay. Love and Monsters is a very light comedy monster story, but the message at the end really speaks to what we're going through right now, just at the very end. Like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. Like a good movie. Makini 90 or Makini 90 for $5. What's up, man? How's it going? Thanks for the super sticker. You're number one, sir. You're number one. Mr. Insanity for 99 cents. Phallic Unicorn. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Grand Wazoo 42. Good job. Good job to you. Thank you very much. Mr. Insanity, taking bets now. Which will come first? Wins of Winter versus the Picard review. Picard review, Mr. Insanity. That is on the way. Tubular Bra. Here, I said I would show this. Super sticker's cool as hell. That's cool as hell. Thank you for the $49.99. Brown Gaijin for $2. Hail that Star Wars Girls remake of the She-Hulk. I saw it on Twitter. Yeah, it's got big boobs. Yeah, that's good. It's still a guy with big boobs. It needs to be brought down to normal proportions. Make She-Hulk look like, what was the Klingon's name in Star Trek V? Vixis, played by Spice Williams. That's what She-Hulk needs to look like. Just get a female bodybuilder, but not like an extreme female bodybuilder, like mid-tier. Like the old punk rocker, what was her name? Helen Wheels. Anybody heard of Helen Wheels? Anyone? She wrote lyrics for Blue Oyster Cult. She's one of those she's like a punk rock pioneer who never made it. She was always on the verge, but she never made it. She played CBGB. Here, I'll show you Helen Wheels. She was in a couple movies. Yep, there's Helen Wheels. Helen Wheels. R. Crumb drew a picture of her. R. Crumb was a fucking weirdo. You want to talk about a guy who would get Me Too'd out of existence? There's a reason he moved to France. Guy was a creep. Total fucking creeper. I used to like R. Crumb until I saw the documentary on Crumb, and they interviewed his brother talking about, I was like done. I'm like, oh, that documentary didn't do you any good. I'm done with you now. There we go. Joss Whedon being Me Too'd as we speak, and people are trying to get Gina fired again. What the fuck is going on? People are bored. People need to get back to work. They need to get back to work to their jobs. They need to get back to work to, you know what? Because your job provides meaning in your life. We are wired as human beings to accomplish things. We need to accomplish things, daily tasks. That's why it's great to be on a routine, like a dumb routine, like I'm going to take my trash out in the morning and then I'm going to take a half-hour walk or go to the gym for a half hour or do a live stream or do a task, complete it every day, and it's extremely healthy for you. That's what got me through prison. That's how I didn't go fucking insane in there, because I put myself on a routine so I would accomplish my little tasks every day. And they're fake tasks that didn't amount to shit except for keeping me sane. It's really good for you. So people need to go back to work. They need meaning in their lives. And now, right now, people have this big, giant fucking hole in their soul. So they're trying to fill it with dopamine, and they really get their kicks out of fucking canceling people, right? And these people might have been fucking assholes like Joss Whedon. Gina's not an asshole. But they're not going to give up trying to fire Gina. The thing is, we just got to, there's a point where we just need to like not bring, because they want the attention. They want the attention. And for a while it's good to point it out, but then there's a point where you just got to ignore it. I don't know, man. Probably because I'm not that controversial. Like, people don't come after me. And if they do, I don't bring any attention to it. It's not worth my time. There's always, I get so much positive. I got this great letter from a Catholic couple, right? Just thanking me for not being dicks to them or not being, or not shitting on the Catholic religion. That's how bad it's gotten with Catholics right now. Poor Catholics. Their religion is very easy for Hollywood to pick on, and they get shit on all the time, right? When the vast majority of them are just people. They're fine. And yeah, it's my pleasure. I have no problem. You know, I'm not a practicing religious person at all, but you're welcome here. I won't shit on your religion. whatever it is. Now, we might joke about it on Friday Night Tights, but we do it with everybody's religion. So don't think you're being picked on. But we try to, refrain from outright doing that because it's been such an easy, low-hanging fruit target for Hollywood for so long. It was a very nice letter. Did you see Lower Decks was attacked for not having a single LGBT character? Well, isn't Boimer? I think Boimer's his name. I'm pretty sure he's LBG. He will be next year. They now claim that the main character is they didn't. No. Yeah, the main character, the Michael Burnham one, she's gay. She said she was, or she said she's bi. So that's not true. But they did mention it in the show. I mean, it's a dumb show. I'm not going to watch it. It's the best thing they put out, and it's dumb. Craig Flanagan for $5. Gary, if you don't mind me asking, do you like your chair? My company closed its physical office. I need new stuff. Enjoying the show. Thanks. No, I have this chair. I would not recommend it. I need a new chair, but I just bought this one and I don't want to buy another one because I'm too cheap, but I wouldn't recommend it. But it's good for like not sitting in too long. So no, I wouldn't recommend my chair. It was like $100-something bucks. I got it on Amazon. I wouldn't get another one. I would ask someone else. Craig Flanagan, thank you for the $5. Bobby Sharps for $4.99. Also a seller. Hasbro is horrible to the customer and the retailer as they prefer to deliver to the big box HasLab. It just wrong. So on so many levels. Yeah, fuck Hasbro. I don't care about Hasbro. I don't buy the plasticky toys anymore anyway. I'm done buying like little action figures and stuff. I buy the occasional hot toy or vintage thing, but nothing new. Enjoy all things Lovecraft while I still can. Great podcast. Yeah, Manny Lamont, they are. Yeah. Keep your books. Keep your books. And yeah, I don't know if they'll ever adapt a proper Lovecraft ever, which is too bad. Gray Ghost for $10. Commemorating the anniversary of 2020's highest grossing comic book film, Birds of Prey. Glad the director still blaming Warner Brothers and being a POC woman on its failure versus herself and the team behind it. Yeah, Gray Ghost. It's amazing that the director, who was so incompetent she couldn't even direct her own fight scenes and had to hire a man to do it, didn't succeed in directing a superhero movie. Maybe if superheroes sat around the table and talked all the time, you know what? If they wait a few years, she'll be able to adapt Marvel just fucking fine. Cardwitch for £1.99. Have an awful cold, but great to catch you live. Oh, I hope you get better. I'm sorry to hear that. Hope it's not the coof. The Barrett BM for $4.99. Speaking of the Snyder Cut, I just watched the Donner Superman 2 cut and wasn't really impressed. What are your thoughts? I fucking love it. I love it. But I know the context of it. I know it's something I can relate to because I watched Superman 2 when I was a kid. Now if somebody is young and they're picking up Superman for the first time, it might be tough for you because it's of its time, but I love the Donner Cut. I think it's one of the best superhero movies ever made. But thank you. Amraphel for $2. Romanian TV would be great on Friday Night Tights. Romanian TV. Definitely check them out. I will. Thank you. Chevy 1189 for $4.99. Gary just finished The Last Witch and Sword of Destiny. Awesome books, right? Starting Season of the Storms tonight. Here is a Starbucks coffee on me. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to go grab a Pete's after this, after we are done here. We are almost done, folks. Ironcaster just jumped on me again. Belson, welcome to the proto-molecule level. I appreciate it. Oh, my Lord. Hang on. It just jumped on me massively. The RPG Pundit would be a good fit on Friday Night Tights, a tabletop RPG professional who's been speaking out about wokeness in that hobby. Definitely recommended. Ironcaster, thank you. I'll keep that in mind. That sounds awesome. Thank you for the $5. Commodore Stargazer for $5. My great-grandfather worked as a chef in an asylum during the Depression in Canada. He brought home the extra food to feed his family. God, that must have been fucking horrible. Oh my God. Yeah, the work people had to do. And they bitch about fucking, it's so hard on the set of a pretend movie. Yeah. And your grandfather had to take food home from work because he probably wasn't getting paid enough at the fucking asylum in the Depression. The Real Vector for $5. Hail, Gary. It ended on Endor. It ended with Endgame. It ended with 11. Okay, I do like Capaldi, but I needed the alliteration. You did, and it's okay. Season 8. It ended with season 8. Terminus Est for $5. Do The Expanse books 6 through 8 get progressively worse, or does the story pick up at some degree later on? No, they get worse. 8 picks up a little bit, but there's no Holden at all. Card Witch. People who pick up the books now after the season they're gonna fucking hate them. They're gonna hate them. I still want to love and fix Doctor Who. Is that bad? Says Cardwitch for £1.99. No, it's not. Of course not. It means you love Doctor Who. Nobody's going to shame you for that. Phil Moore. What did you think of the movie Fat Man? I haven't seen it. I was a little surprised they played it so straight, even more towards the end. I was expecting more of a goof. I'll check it out. I know Odin liked it. Crow T. Thank you again, Phil Moore. Crow T. Robot from the Satellite of Love for $5. They should have brought Romana back for a woman Time Lord. It would have been great. It would have been great. And then you could have had men and women regenerating like off season. It writes itself. You have Doctor Who come out in spring. You have Romana come out in fall. And then you have a Doctor Who Christmas special. And then it's Doctor Who all year round. And then you have both in production. And then you have them regenerate at different times. So there's always something new rotating in. And you could have just done this for fucking ever. They're stupid. These people are stupid. And I've been kicked out of 3 high schools, and all I did, I owned a comic shop, and I thought of that shit. It's pretty easy to think up. But it's pretty hard to destroy this shit. But they did it because they're fucking hacks. Skippy Fab. Gary, hashtag Fire Gina Carano is trending again. Can we get a word out to get We Love Cara Dune trending again, please? Sure, absolutely. I completely agree. Let's do that right now. Give me a moment. Give me just a moment. Let's get Twitter up. Okay, just a reminder. So I'm putting up We Love Cara Dune to get that trend. I'm putting up just a reminder. We love Cara Dune, and more importantly, we love Gina Carano. I can't think of anything more clever than that, but this will work. So hopefully this will help. I don't know. I need a hot picture of Gina. Hang on. Oh, it's because the fucking Variety. Fuck Variety. Okay, so I'm going to read this real quick. I don't want to push this garbage, so give me just a second. Gina Carano, who plays Cara Dune on The Mandalorian, garnered backlash on social media Wednesday after sharing several controversial posts on her Instagram story. Okay, so what she says is, I'll fucking say it. I don't care. So she put up a post basically saying that it was easier to round up the Jews in Germany because the population was very, very compliant to the actual Nazi soldiers. So she said neighbors turned in neighbors, neighbors turned in children, and it made it easier for the government to round them up because neighbors were snitching each other out. Is that wrong? No, it's not wrong. It's actual history. So she said Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children, because history is edited. Most people today don't realize that to get to the point where the Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? Spicy. Now, I think what people are going to conflate is she's saying there is no difference. She's just asking, how is that any different from hating somebody for just simply hate? Hate is hate. Just like we learned in the lesser evil, hate is hate. Evil is evil. Doesn't really matter where it comes from. Consequences from one, like in World War II, can be much worse than other people's consequences. So much so that they were almost, that was actual genocide, like real genocide. But hate is hate. Hate is hate. I admire her chutzpah. I admire it. Just a reminder, we love Gina Carano, and more importantly, there we go. I tweeted it. Oh my God, that's my stomach growling right there. Uh-oh. Where did it go? There it is. I admire Gina Carano. Yeah, so what they're gonna come out and say is you're comparing yourself to Yahtzee Germany. No, if you read her statement, she said the Jews were rounded up by the Nazis because the neighbors were fucking ratting them out because they were pieces of shit. They were also scared. They were also fucking scared. Did every neighbor know that when they were rounding them up, they were sending them to a death camp? I don't know. I wasn't there, but I had to assume yes. So yeah, it must have been a really shitty place but that's how the hate got riled up. The hate got riled up because they had it's just what I've read. It was like this spell that got, that was over anybody, and they were just really easy to pick on, and they made it, they did fucking terrible shit. Terrible shit. And it's because the government backed it, and the people backed it. But it couldn't have happened without the people. That kind of evil could not happen without the support of the German population. Was everybody bad? Of course not. But she's not wrong. It's terrible though. Because if you bring that shit up though, people freak the fuck out, or they like to use it for disingenuous arguments. But for the record, Nazis were bad, and I denounce white supremacy. I'm very much against genocide. I like all people who aren't assholes. If you're an asshole, I won't hate you, but I won't like you. And it depends. I mean, if you're just kind of an asshole once in a while, that's totally forgivable. But a consistent asshole, nah, no time for it. Gary, invite Zack Snyder on Friday Night Tights. I think you guys would have a great time, especially Snyder. Oh, Mikey, I would love to have fucking Zack Snyder on. As long as he understands we're real fans and we're going to ask real fan questions, but Zack Snyder would never come on my channel for one. Never, never. But I would be happy to have Zack Snyder on. He, by all accounts, he seems like a pretty cool dude. Blue Blood 71 for $5. Saw an article from Polygon on an Expanse fan group saying Expanse season 5 was better version of 2004 Galactica. I just laughed out loud. Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. That is fucking ridiculous. All right, folks. I'm going to read the rest of these and get out. It is time for me to go. My son is out of school. Saw an article from, okay. Hail, and much love from Texas. What do you think about Mahershala Ali as Joel in HBO's The Last of Us adaptation? Mahershala Ali is playing Joel? No. Well, I mean, would he have a different fate than The Last of Us 2? I think Mahershala Ali is a great actor, and I have no connection to Joel in The Last of Us at all, so it really wouldn't bother me at all. But, is Mahershala Ali going to be Hollywood's new favorite? Like, cast other black people. There's other black people out there, okay? Michael B. Jordan and Mahershala Ali are going to get all the roles. I haven't heard anything about it, though. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's from, yeah. I don't know if that's real. That's from a website called direct.com. I've never heard of them. But yeah, there is a rumor out there that Mahershala Ali has been offered the role of Joel in The Last of Us. Who knows? Fans of the game, I think they're detached already. I think The Last of Us to detach them, and I don't think they give a fuck. Good luck, HBO, with a really grim, post-apocalyptic, depressing show after a pandemic. I wish you all the luck in the world. Please check out the Lynch Mob Gorillas in the Mist. Perfect line in there from Tom Kong. Just exchange one word for Niter, and it's gold. Hi, Perry Chan. Your Muslim uncle for $4.99. I will check it out. Master Clockwork for $5. This attempt to erase the male gaze is self-defeating. Most enjoy looking at attractive people. Those that don't are jealous and ugly on the inside. Yeah, they are. There's a hole inside. Belson, welcome to the proto-molecule level. The Invisible Man for $5. And thank you again, Master Clockwork, for $5. Gary, you're a fan of Minor Threat? Guilty of being white. So for something that I didn't do, also your thoughts on Moore's The Black Dossier. The Black Dossier I thought was pretty good. I was a fan of Minor Threat when I was a kid and Fugazi. Haven't listened to him much lately, but was a big fan back in the day and saw them live quite a bit. Fugazi more than Minor Threat. When Minor Threat came through town, the Invisible Man, remember, they would have the local population make their T-shirts. They would find usually some girls, to help design their T-shirts, and Mrs. Nerdrotic designed a T-shirt for Minor Threat. She did, because she was a true punk rock girl, that one. Sandman says, Run Runner for 5 Canadian pesos. The tough girl trope is one reason I like Sicario. Emily Blunt's FBI tries to be tough and gets her ass handed to her. More realistic. Yeah, if it's realism, I'm fine. But like the tough girl trope is tired. It's tired. Hi, hail Gary. Any news on MGM being for sale? Joe Culture for 2 Canadian pesos. None that I know of. I don't know what they'd have to sell. They have the rights to Bond, but they don't own Bond. If they sold, it wouldn't be for much, but they're probably going to have to. They have the rights for The Hobbit as well. I don't know what would happen in a sale. I don't know if that would revert or what, though. It's interesting. Something to think about. Belson for €5. Had to finally join your cult after freeloading for a while now. Just finished rewatching Tank Girl. Awesome movie. I loved it too. Greetings from Australia. G'day. G'day. Lost Pompey Lad. Thank you for the $1 donation. I appreciate it. Mikey Gusler for $5. Carpenter also stated that Whedon pressured her to get rid of her baby while she was pregnant. Whoa. I thought to get rid of it. I believe it. I totally believe it. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. Fuck that guy. Let's get rid of a baby so we can keep filming our pretend. It's fucking happened, folks. It's happened. Think about that. We can't wait a few months for pretend. So I don't even want to think about that shit. That's dark. All I'm saying is I don't need a canonical explanation for the BBC to retcon 13. Just plop a competent actor in and pretend Chimel doesn't exist until they refer to it. John Smith, it depends. If more time goes by, that might be possible. All right. We got a few more. Fuck it. Let's just do it. Brian Kim for $5. Hey, Gary, you want to change the proto-molecule level, right? Yes, I'm going to. What about Kinnell's Tiny Wang level? Welcome to Kinnell's Tiny Wang level, right? Do you think #me as well? Thanks, Brian Kim. I will think about it. Probably not, though. Samurai Flack for $2. Do you think #me as well is still alive? I don't know what that is. Somebody tell me in the chat. Peanut Butter Brittle for $5 Australian. My brother ended up with PTSD from harassment at work. The head of HR refused to investigate. The claim began. She refused to investigate her husband. That's terrible. What was the claim, though? My brother ended up with PTSD from harassment at work. Yeah. I mean, again, you're not trapped, people. You're not trapped. If you're being harassed at work, report it to the proper authorities, to HER. If they don't do anything, go to authorities. If they don't do anything, fucking quit. You'll find another job. There's no job worth being harassed for, talked to that way. There's no boss who should ever fucking talk to you like you're a piece of shit or anything. Ever. Inner strength, people. Come on, it's important. And I understand that not everybody's like that, but you're not trapped. It's not like, you know what give you PTSD? Fucking prison. That shit'll give you PTSD because you are fucking trapped in there. War will give you PTSD because you're trapped. You're trapped. Once you join up, we're trapped. You're not trapped at your job. You're not. No matter how much responsibility you have, if something is that bad, there is always the door. And the same goes for relationships. You're not trapped in a relationship. You can walk the fuck out whenever you want. There's always a door. Nobody's chained you to a table or anything. So as sorry as I'm hearing about your brother with PTSD, your brother should have left. I know that sounds mean, but that's terrible to stay there that long to where it does permanent damage to your brain. A job? Especially in a Western country. I mean, listen, if your brother was working in, I don't mean to disrespect any country out there, but Ethiopia, where, a job is fucking rare and you need to eat to survive and you're willing to put up with anything. Yeah, I get it. Okay, sure. But in a Western civilization where you're working at Costco or something like that, or in an office and people are harassing you that much, that makes them fucked up, but you don't have to put up with that. For $4.5 million and syndication money on every time the show is on, I could handle being called fat and someone being mean. Laugh my ass off. Be mean back. Exactly. Throw that shit right back in their face. Again, what he said for for $1 million a year, where you work probably 2 months a year. And that's all they worked. They worked a couple months a year. And you can make enough money to be set for life. You can abuse me. I wouldn't put up with it, though, personally. Nicholas Horton for $10. Disney Plus UK is getting another feature being added to its content features in late February called Disney Star, where all the R-rated content will be, and it's going to have a age restriction lock on it. That's stupid. And it won't work, Nicholas Horton for £2. If I put a little okay, how many of you guys go to my playlists on my channel? I'll tell you, very few of you. Very, very few of you go to my playlists on my channel, and they're right there on the front page. If you are requiring a human being to do another click, you're asking too much. Garrett Barley for $4.99, Servant of Morgoth. Fall. Spawn of Malkor, Servant of Morgoth. You are nameless, faceless. Just finished watching Angel. Angel holds up so much better than New Who. Can watch classic all day long, but I can't get enough of them. I can't get through the modern series. Java Bean, for real. Java Bean. I love Modern Who. But Angel's great. Angel's great. What's up, Java Bean? G'day, brother. Good to see you. Eldrick, Elderific, USN vet for $5. Concerning my previous comment, even though I watched the movie Captain Marvel, I must have misrepresented Monica's expression. For that, I apologize. No, you didn't. You didn't. You didn't. No. There was definitely shade there. There was shade. You weren't wrong. You didn't have to put another super chat in. I just said that they'll probably have her. It's probably going to be like I was hoping the same thing you are, that they would fucking hate each other. If they hated each other, that would make sense. But it'll probably be like I emulate her later. But no, it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. But I don't want Captain Marvel to exist at all in the MCU. And unfortunately she does. And every time she shows up, it reminds me of the worst movie in the MCU. And it reminds me of the MCU, which is already here, by the way. It's not coming. It arrived. It's just, it depends on if it's going to derail the whole damn thing or not. That's still in question. Because as it stands right now, as with the stuff that we've received from Marvel, not that we're going to get, the stuff we've received, Marvel is much more good than bad. Much more. Google Tatiana Maslana Jim. She's almost there, says Jack Random for $2. I will, but I probably shouldn't during the show. Mad Vibe. Hulk's new name should be the intersectional Z-Hulk. Z-Hulk. I agree. Phoenix Tangent. If you need a new chair, look up office supply stores. Offices are closing and downsizing and selling Herman Miller Aaron for $250. Oh, shit. Really? Okay, I will. Hi, Jennifer Cisco. Thank you for sharing that. Will, welcome to the Jaloja membership. I appreciate it. We got 5 new members today. Mr. Brody Massage Machine. Twitter SJW culture just allows crazy people to see the immediate effect on their actions. They are addicted to the results of their actions, not the cause. It's all emotions based. Raven's Nest for $5. Gary, do you own any Wheel of Time books? No, I don't. I think you would really get into the series considering how much you love Lord of the Rings. Thanks for the streams. I will give it another shot. I have tried, but it was a long time ago. Just finished The Expanse and fuck, I loved it. Not Star Wars, not Trek, totally original book for the sci-fi. We need happy hour with Drinker on The Expanse, says Douglas A. Burton, $9.99. For the first part, the first 5 books are fucking fantastic. But the show took a little turn for the worse, unfortunately. But it might be just the season, and it might be because of Cass Anbar. So I don't know that yet. Nemo Nova for $4.99. Did you have the limited edition action figure Kirk at the moment yelling, Khan? I wish now I would have gotten it when it came out. I don't. I do not. And I vaguely remember that one. That was a Diamond Select. Yeah, I can't find it right now. I don't want to waste too much time on it. Sorry. I've actually super late and I've got to get going. I've got other live streams. I got a video to make. Unfortunately, yeah. So the other live streams I'm on, I'm going to be on Bounding into Comics probably for like an hour. And I'll try to make Drunks stream for like a half an hour. That's the most I can give tonight. I got to get a video out by tomorrow. Belson, growing up in Australia and listening to my grandma, it's not that easy with Bolsheviks coming in. And also, if you didn't comply, you went with them. But Belson, yeah, that's true. In some cases, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't there. But yeah, well, all I know about the Bolsheviks is they murdered some members of my family and they had to flee and all of their property was fucking stolen by the communist government of Russia. But this was prior to World War I or II, actually. It was a long, long time ago when the whenever the Bolshevik was. Yes. Hang on. Somebody was knocking at my door. Hang on. Un momento.
Nerdrotic.com.
I'm not leaving. I'll be right back. Got my FedEx. All right, I'm back. Oh, got whatever I got in FedEx. I take it back. Last super. F him and the money for doing the show. I take it back. That last super. F him and the money for doing the show. Yeah, fuck Joss Whedon. Fucking asking her to get rid of the baby is a piece of shit move. Absolute piece of garbage fucking shit move. Let's just pretend Jody's doctor is the Valiard, says Phantom Mercenary for $2. I would love that. Samurai. Well, here's the deal. Like, there's going to be some hardcore fans who are just going to hang on. They're going to hang on, right? But you've lost the normies who actually give the show enough money to succeed. Because it's expensive, so it needs more than just the hardcore fans. I think you're pretty much boiled down to that right now. And I think there's a large portion who hate watch it. I'm a bit paranoid after the last ban wave. Hashtag me too. Samurai eye flag for $2. Ban wave. Listen, I'm so happy I'm happily married, and I'm glad I'm not dating in this environment. Be hell. Black Tiger 001 for 5 Canadian pesos. Expanse has been woke from the start in the books. Every female is praised to the moon. Every male is at best stumbling and as a good man. Amos, Bobby fight. At the end. That Amos and Bobby fight at the end is fucking stupid. But I disagree. It changed drastically after the 5th book. Insanity Pep. I mean, yeah, there was some stuff there, but I don't mind some of that shit. It actually makes sense in the future. For $5, Insanity Pepper. Petition to change the protomolecule level to the Cara Dune level. Oh, that's a good idea. Black Tiger 001 for the final super chat. Oh, I'm going to have to go somewhere else to see it. Hang on. Because I can see it over here. Oh, I love this StreamYards thing. I can't wait to fully implement it. Dress She-Hulk like Dana picks and ask which is okay. That's a good question. That is a good question. And we're going to end it there. Thank you to the Nerdrotics. The show went an hour too long, but that's okay. God, it's 3. Son of a bitch. Oh my God, I'm going to be up late tonight. But I was having so much fun. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. This will be on Nerdrotic live in about an hour or two. Look for me on Drunk 3PO if I have time to go over there. If not, I'll donate. But there's a big charity stream at 4 p.m. Then I'll be on Bounding into Comics at 9 p.m. Eastern for a little bit there. But yeah, man, I had a good time. So Nerdrotic Nooner will return Monday at 11 a.m. I'll probably sneak another one in, like Saturday maybe, because I was thinking about doing the Super Chat Square Ups live. Go back to doing it live again because it's a little more fun than recording by myself. So thanks to the Modrotics, Eric K., Jennifer Cisco, Chris Persia, Nyla Shadow, Mark Lerzeth, Lord Thoth, just another red shirt. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. I really do need to rush. And thank you, Perry Chan, for the opening. Thank you to everyone who took the time to hang out. And thank you to everyone who super chatted today. You help keep the lights on. I appreciate you. I love you guys. See you on Friday Night Tights with Carrie Smith. Bye-bye.
Nerdrotic.com.
Take it easy, everyone.